When Sir Jim Ratcliffe took control of footballing operations at United, the Manchester-born billionaire was somewhat welcomed, and you can decide for yourself. The important context here is that over the last 3 years, the club has lost over 300 million quid, and from day dot, Ratcliffe committed to fixing this, which of course is the right thing for the club. But what seemed to get fans' backs up is the way Sir Jim Ratcliffe, accompanied by Sir Dave Brailsford, went about it. For example, talkSPORT understands their lunch options at the Carrington canteen have been reduced to just soup and sandwiches, which the higher-ups at the club say will save them 1 million quid a year. Now that might make sense for many who don't get free meals at work themselves, but it gets a little bit more picky than that. It was reported that after staff brought some stationery, they were ordered to send sellotape back because it wasn't considered essential. The reward for being Steward of the Week used to be 50 quid, but that was scrapped and replaced by a paper certificate. And such is the grip Ratcliffe has on spending, he reportedly scrapped company credit cards, meaning some staff racking up hundreds of pounds worth of expenses and spending weeks out of pocket waiting to be reimbursed. But it's not just the stingy decisions around the amount of tea bags in the cafeteria. In 2024 alone, Ratcliffe oversaw 250 redundancies, and more were announced at the beginning of 2025. Now, while there are people who acknowledge that United staff numbers are overinflated, it's the optics which aren't great. Because while all this has been going on, Casemiro's getting paid 350 grand a week, and the club forked out 14 million quid getting rid of Erik ten Hag and Dan Ashworth. But United fans' rage doesn't just stop here at the cuts. Ratcliffe's unpopular decision to introduce a flat ticket price of 66 quid for every fan, even children, certainly did not go down well. For fans, it feels like the very foundation of the club's support is being attacked for the sake of making marginal financial gains. But Ratcliffe has backed it, saying if you shy away from difficult decisions, then nothing is going to change. And time will tell whether these measures will improve operations at the club and help drag standards up on the pitch. But one thing's for sure, his first year wasn't exactly a charm offensive, and there's still a long way to go for United to be back to where many say they belong.
Here we go, this is Drive, Ade Oladipo Rory Jennings. Coming up today, we're going to be taking a look at Liverpool's transfer window so far. If they get Isak over the line, is this the greatest window of all time? Not sure. Chelsea have had a couple of good ones, United, Arsenal, etc. We'll look at the best. Off the back of that, we're asking whether Trent Alexander-Arnold may have left his boyhood club too soon. Is he regretting it secretly? Possibly. We also need your help today with the King of Opinion alongside me. We're going to bring you Drive Confessions. This is your chance. This is it. One chance to give us your football opinion that you're usually too scared to say out loud. Phone lines are already open. 03717 223344. We want your predictions as well for the future. We're going to be asking 25-26 season predictions. Who wins? Who goes down? Who gets sacked? The lot. All that plus Courtney Sweetman-Kirk will join us live from Switzerland. And on the eve of the British and Irish Lions second test down under on talkSPORT, we're going to be joined by the great Ben Youngs. Loads to get through. This is the Drive on talkSPORT, and we can get involved. Phone lines are open. 03717 223344. The boy is in the building. I have campaigned and campaigned and campaigned, and finally they've let him through the door. Rory Jennings, your debut on Drive.
I'm honoured.
Yeah.
Friends in High Places has got me in a room. Thank you very much, Mr. Oladipo.
Yeah, well, yeah, it wasn't just me, to be fair. I mean, the people, the nation have been asking for you to come on this show. I will say this, it's a different audience to the 710 that we normally do.
Really?
Yeah,
harsh.
they speak their mind out. They're very, very unforgiving, so your opinions might not go down so well.
Well, I think they will today, because today I'm bang on point.
Oh, you're
not one thing is controversial, not one thing could anybody take any issue with. Today you will see that it is just totally chiming with the consciousness of the nation.
Oh, interesting. I like it. Newcastle fans went into a bit of a meltdown yesterday, didn't they? It was difficult to take, difficult to read. I mean, people started flying in my DMs. I've somehow sanctioned the deal and told Isak to leave.
Yeah, I can kind of see why. When a player that we love tries to leave or wants to leave, or somebody agitates for a move, it does hurt. It does hit very hard.
We've all been through it, though. Every club's been through it.
We have, but we're a very precious people, aren't we, football fans? And as a result, when this happens to you, you don't rationalise it. You don't approach it with any sort of form of logic. Yeah. So, for example, anybody without a dog in the fight here goes, of course, Alexander Isak wants to play for Liverpool. What's going on at Liverpool is probably the most exciting sporting project in the world. And that isn't even taking into account the history of Liverpool. I'm literally talking about the sporting project. Yeah. The players, the manager, and the approach from above. It's the most exciting and enticing for a player. You then add into that mix, and you start talking about the history of Liverpool. What Liverpool represents. Obviously, Alexander Isak wants to play for Arne Slot. Obviously, Alexander Isak wants to play with Mohamed Salah. Obviously, Alexander Isak wants to hear his name sung by the cop. If he didn't want those things, it would be insane. Of course he wants to further himself. He's an athlete who's elite in terms of what he does, and he wants to test himself with the very best against the very best.
Is there a right way to leave a club? Because I almost feel like what he could be doing now could be the wrong way. Some will say you have to force your way out, right? I mean, obviously, look, he's spoken to his agent and people around him, but should he have been on tour with the club in Singapore?
The thing is here, Addy, right, what we can often do, we can be very judgmental and we can say that Alexander Isak should be more professional, but history isn't kind to people who have been very professional. Like, history hasn't been particularly kind to Harry Kane. Harry Kane didn't force his way out of Tottenham when he should have done. He stayed there far too long, and ultimately we hold him accountable for that. We say, where's his medals? He hasn't got enough league titles. He didn't do this, he didn't do that. Why isn't he playing for Manchester City or one of the best teams in this country? Why did he stay at Tottenham for 4 or 5 years longer than he should have done? We don't pay him any real respect for sitting tight and winning nothing.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Alexander Isak is trying to be part of something that is legacy defining, era defining.
And look, he has no, apart from the fact that he pays wages, he has no loyalty. He's not a Newcastle fan. He wasn't brought up supporting Newcastle. So these players will do what they want to do. But look, if Liverpool get him, are Liverpool, even if they don't get him, are Liverpool having the best Premier League transfer window of all time?
Yes, I think they are. I think what they're doing is truly brilliant, because whether they get him or not, I think the statement that they're making here is impressive.
All right, here we go. Liverpool, best transfer window of all time? I think so.
Down to Isak. Oh, it's a second goal. It's another goal for Newcastle United. It's converted from 10 yards out by Alexander Isak.
Nothing guarantees, but you sign Isak for Liverpool right now. What they've got, what they've done last season.
4-1 to Bournemouth. It's a brilliant strike from Milos Kerkez.
He had an incredible record, durability, Kerkez.
To the edge of the area, yes! And it's in! Walker got a hand to it, but it's in off the post!
A wonderful addition because he's so creative. He's a goal. He scores goals and makes goals.
Yesterday, it feels like last year, but yesterday we heard the bombshell news that Alexander Isak wants to leave Newcastle this summer. With Liverpool, his most likely destination has been some talk about a move to Saudi as well. If he makes the move to Anfield, he's going to join Florian Wirtz, Hugo Ekitike, Milos Kerkez, Jeremy Frimpong as the club's summer additions. You can chuck Mamadashvili in there as well. Football finance expert Kieran Maguire joined the Transfer Insiders last night, and he explained how Arne Slot's side is able to spend all this money.
Liverpool in an incredibly strong position, and the reason for that, Ollie, is twofold. First of all, in terms of the money coming in at Anfield, they now have an expanded stadium, and the new tickets and the new seats that are available are going to the hospitality, to going to the corporate fans, and the yield there tends to be very high. They've got the new shirt deal, which comes in on the 1st of August with Adidas. That's going to be a substantial increase. They are incredibly popular with sponsors, and sponsors will have paid bonuses for them winning the Premier League. So all of those are positives in terms of the money coming in. Trent's gone, he was on a very high wage. Kwanzaa's gone, that will be pure profit. So they're actually in a strong position. And then I've got the figures in front of me in terms of spending, and of the big six, or the old school big six, should we say, Liverpool were 6 in the position over the course of the last 3 to 4 years. So they've actually been keeping their powder dry relatively to the other clubs. They spent £1 billion less than Chelsea during that period.
Wow, £1 billion less than Chelsea. Kieran Maguire, who doesn't have a dog in the fight, football financial expert. And what he didn't mention there as well is obviously, look, Harvey Elliott probably is going to leave the club. He's spoken about it as well now on tour at the moment. Darwin Núñez will probably leave the club. Luis Diaz looks like he's going to go to Bayern Munich for 70, 80 million. So the finances are there clearly to go and get Isak. It's not hard.
The money's there. The club has been so well run that they're in a situation now where they can launch this serious transfer window. A transfer window that could be era-defining. That's what they're trying to do. I don't think this is about trying to win the league next year. I think they already have a team capable of winning the league next year. I don't even think it's about winning the European Cup in Budapest next year. They already have a team capable of winning the European Cup. This is about trying to retain a league after that, and create a genuine era of dominance. Like nobody questions Liverpool's history. Everybody's fully aware of the glorious past that they have. But I don't think Liverpool have retained a title since 1982, 83.
Yeah.
Like they haven't retained a league title. So this isn't really about simply creating a great team for next year. This is about creating a team that will be looked back upon in a couple of decades' time as something special.
Yeah. Liverpool's transfer window business, I think, this summer has been incredible, and they've got deals done so quick as well, isn't it? I mean, look at the Ekitike one. That was like rumoured then done.
No, that was powerful. What they did with Ekitike, Ade, I think it's symbolic as to what they're trying to do, what they're trying to build, the way that they're trying to be seen. They're the champions. They're the champions for a reason. They're trying to throw their weight around and show their might and flex their muscle as champions. But the Ekitike one shocked me because, for all intents and purposes, he was a Newcastle United player. He was going to Newcastle. Yeah. Suddenly, Liverpool make a few phone calls. They just make some noise that they're after the player, and suddenly, bang, Ekitike's on tour in the Far East with Liverpool.
Crazy, isn't it, how quick that happens?
It's a statement.
Seeing him high five all those Liverpool players, I'm like, he's already there.
It's a statement, isn't it?
All right, so it's got us thinking about the best transfer windows of all time. And look, there've been some good ones. Some teams have done some incredibly good business, like even sort of bargains that have turned into superstars, like Leicester. What they did in that 15-16 season was incredible. But I think probably on paper, especially looking back now, the best transfer window of all time has to be your boys, 04-05. This is what came in to Chelsea in 04-05. Drogba, Carvalho, Paulo Ferreira, Arjen Robben, Peter Cech and Thiago Mendes.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Joke.
It's beautiful, isn't it? I mean, in terms of the quality of those.
Apart from Mendes, really.
Oh, he was a great player.
Yeah, but he wasn't as good. I mean, the rest of them landed big time. Big time.
Yeah, I would agree. The only thing I would push back on, Thiago Mendes, that first year that we won the league, he really was good. But do you remember a goal he scored at Old Trafford where Jose Mourinho's mind was blown?
No, I don't.
He pinked. Oh, it was about 30.
Why don't I remember a goal?
You should remember it.
20 years ago for a Chelsea player.
You should remember it. It was an iconic goal in front of the Stretford end that even had Jose Mourinho purring.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful moment. But look, that window that you just mentioned there for Chelsea, I think is significant. But what we're witnessing now, I do think we're witnessing history here with Liverpool, because it's the statement and the noise that they're making, as well as the players that they're bringing in.
Is it? Liverpool won the league at a canter last season.
Yeah, and they've already strengthened more than anyone else.
Have they over-strengthened?
Define that for me.
What I mean is, there's probably going to be, you know, when everyone puts their best Liverpool 11 up now, it's 5 new faces in the 11.
Yeah.
And I always feel like that's maybe one too many. I always feel like it's 2 or 3.
No, but that's why
5 is a lot.
No, it's very strong. It's very impressive.
But how long is it going to take that team to click immediately?
Arne Slot is a master tactician. We've seen him deploy how many formations in the same game. So he has a situation now where he can play Hugo Ekitike up front, potentially with Alexander Isak.
Yeah.
You know, Ekitike played up front in a 2, didn't he, with Frankfurt with Marmouche?
Yeah.
So he can certainly play in a 2. But equally, you've got a player who can play with or instead of Isak. You've got a player who can play with or instead of Mohamed Salah. You've got a player that can play with or instead of whoever ends up playing on the wide left.
Yeah.
So you have a situation where these players can be deployed in various different ways, depending on the opposition, depending on the scoreline, and depending on the context.
I think one big thing for Liverpool fans as well is like AFCON's always been a huge nightmare. It was because of Mane and Salah. Obviously now it's Salah that always goes away with Egypt. All of a sudden you've got cover for Salah.
You've got cover.
Like Verts will easily go on that side, and it's not the biggest drop off as it was all the other time.
No, absolutely, absolutely, and that's why this is such a good window, because it's those little tweaks. Like, look, the marquee players that you've mentioned here they're always going to be noted, right? We're always going to focus upon the big name signings, the big money signings, and they will always get the headlines. But I think the Kirkhead signing's a brilliant one.
Big one.
Because they identified an area in their team that needed replenishment. They looked at the options they had, and they realised that Andy Robertson needed help, and they realised that Tsimikas wasn't good enough to play for Liverpool. So what do? They go out and they buy a best in class, and they get it over the line. There's no transfer saga. There's no bidding war. They just get the player in and it's done. And they've gone and they've signed a best-in-class Premier League proven left-back.
Yeah,
it's an exemplary window.
And I think it's so important what he's done as well, Slot. This is a Liverpool loving, isn't it, right now? I'm enjoying this. But I think what he's done that's so important is kept Robertson. There's a lot of talk about Robert going to Atletico Madrid. I think you need that changeover.
Yeah, to set the standard.
Yeah,
He maintains a standard. He will introduce Kirkes to what's expected in terms of the conduct from a Liverpool fullback. But I really do think this is massive, Ade. And also, do you know what this also signifies? Think about, over the years, certainly Premier League era, Liverpool, despite their glorious history pre that, they've often missed out on players. Big name players that were potentially going to be leaving a club, going to Liverpool. Liverpool would get pipped for that player. So what happened with Liverpool and Hugo Ekitike, Liverpool getting hold of Ekitike from under Newcastle's nose, that would happen to Liverpool an awful lot over the years. Yeah. Nemanja Vidic, for example, was destined. David Silva, for example. Yeah. Damien Duff, when he left Blackburn Rovers. He was destined for Liverpool. Chelsea just made it happen. That's not happening anymore. Sol Campbell, when Sol Campbell left Tottenham, looked like he was going to Liverpool. Arsenal, the double winners at the time, used their might as winners to get hold of the player. That's what Liverpool are doing now. No more, like gone are the days where you can poach players from under Liverpool's nose.
Now, very quickly, some of the best transfer windows of all time. I mean, this one just sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? But it was true. Real Madrid, 09-10, Ronaldo, Kaká, Benzema, Xavi Alonso. It's a joke, that is. Man City, 10-11, Yaya Toure, Balotelli, David Silva, Kolarov, who was fantastic, Kolarov, for a period. Jerome Boateng, who didn't really land. So we're taking your calls on this. What are the best and worst transfer windows of all time? It's an easy subject to get the ball rolling today. Worst and best transfer windows of all time. 03717 223344. afternoon. Listen to Drive on talkSPORT. Ade Oladipo, Rory Jennings, and Motorpoint. Thousands of cars, all at unbeatable prices guaranteed. Just head to motorpoint.co.uk for more details. Still to come, we're going to be asking you for your opinions that you're scared to say out loud. Just football opinions, by the way, because this could go left very quickly. But just quickly, Newcastle interested in RB Leipzig striker Benjamin Sesko if Alexander Isak leaves this summer. FA Chief Executive Mark Bullenham has said that there is no need to extend the powers of VAR to include corners and second yellow cards. Good. And it's the third day of the fourth test between England and India at Old Trafford. Watching for talkSPORT is the great, the knowledgeable Sam Ellar. Sam.
Do you know what, you make me happy. You make me a happy man. And Joe is also making me a happy man today because he's scoring more runs and plenty of them. It was 449 for 4. That's with a lead of 91 runs. Joe Root has 129 runs, and it's a special day today because he's overtaken Kalish, Dravid and Ponting to go second in the all-time test run scorers list, picking up his 38th century of 178 balls. Washington Sundar did take 2 big wickets after lunch, but Root Stokes steady the ship. This is a decent partnership for England. Well, the 100 runs exactly. There we go. Root's got 129, Stokes is 41. England continue to back into the evening session. It's 449 to 4, leading by 91 runs.
Cheers, Sam. Thank you very, very much. All right, before the break, we were talking about the best and worst transfer windows of all time. Liverpool look like they're on course to have one of the best, especially if they get Isak, one of the best transfer windows of all time. We've had some shockers as well. Let's quickly go to the phone lines, actually. Matt, I feel like I know which way this is going because it certainly can't be one of the best, can it? Matt, the Spurs fan. Matt, this has to be one of the worst transfer windows, surely.
Ouch, man. Well, we transferred Postecoglou. That was good. I've got to say, man, I don't know where we transferred him to, but he's gone. Thank goodness for that. I mean, I'll be honest with you, lads. Thanks for taking the call, but I kind of called up on, I was thinking about the best transfers in the last 10 years in the Premiership. That's what I said to the chap who spoke to me. And I was thinking, can you beat Mo Salah, Virgil van Dijk and Damien Rice? Are they not the best transfers of the last 10 years?
Say wait, Mo Salah, Virgil van Dijk and who?
Mo Salah.
Yeah.
And, those Premiership buys in the last decade. It's got to be Mo Salah, Virgil van Dijk and Damien Rice.
Who's the last one? Declan Rice.
Declan Rice, sorry, yeah.
Okay.
Damien Rice is a musician, sorry, yeah, Declan Rice, sorry.
I was thinking, surely,
well, he's an Arsenal player, isn't he? Of course I'm going to get his name, deliberately.
I can't have Declan in that yet. There's no way on earth I can have Declan.
I think they're an interesting shout. It's quite an obvious shout, though. You kind of pick the best players.
Yeah.
It is an obvious shout, but they are the best. I'm not claiming to say anything new or original.
I think, pound for pound, obviously, Virgil van Dijk cost over 70 million and he's been worth every penny, but because he is so expensive, it's difficult for me to put him in. If you're going to go a Liverpool player, I think Andy Robertson, in terms of 7 million from Hull.
That's kind of my rationale for this as well. Like when you see players that cost almost nothing. Yeah. If you look at Leicester signing N'Golo Kante.
Yeah, but he's played like a £7 million pound player a few times, you know.
Kante?
He's played he has. He's played. Yeah, he was a bit of a dog last season. I mean, to be honest with you, don't you think?
No.
Over the whole season, don't you think Robertson was?
Robertson
not exactly shining for Liverpool.
Oh.
No, Robertson didn't have a particularly good season last year, and I think it's fair to conclude now that he needs help, and that's why they've gone and signed Kirkheads. But overall, Andy Robertson is one of the best Premier League steals of all time. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
£7 million from
one of the best Premier League left backs of all time.
Yeah.
No,
Liverpool's.
No. In general.
No. He's not.
He's not one of the best.
He's a brilliant player, and I was with you on this, but you've just gone too far. He is undoubtedly Liverpool's best left back of the Premier League era.
So he's
definitely better than Risa and all that. Definitely.
One second. He's not one of the best left backs of all time in the Premier League.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so Dennis Irwin, Vieira. Dennis Irwin, obviously Ashley Cole.
Yeah. Patrice Evra. Graham Lassalle.
He's on a wind up. He's on a wind up. All right, let's go to one more. Let's go to. I think we're not. We just had Matt, didn't we? Is Matt still there? Is Matt gone?
No, Matt's gone. Matt's gone.
Okay, Matt's gone. Good. Matt's gone. We're going to try and get that one. When Matt said Damien Rice, honestly, I thought I'd obviously missed out on football for 10 years.
I mean, he's on some level, he's right. Declan Rice cost the big bucks, but the reason he cost the big bucks and is doing very well at Arsenal is because there was no real jeopardy there. It wasn't brains and intelligence to sign Declan Rice.
But Declan Rice isn't one of the best signings.
No, not yet. Not yet. I think it has to lead to something, doesn't it? I think a great signing will lead to something. The reason why you've highlighted some of the players that arrived at Chelsea 04-05, Drogba, Carvalho, Ferreira, Robben, was because it ultimately led to a league title.
Yeah.
Until it leads to something, until it matters, it's not really quantifiable.
Agreed. Who would be your best signing of all time, Chelsea?
Well, it depends. I mean, Frank Lampard, obviously.
In terms of
Frank Lampard, obviously. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't think anybody comes close to Frank Lampard and Frank Lampard's contribution to Chelsea. But if you wanted to try and make it a
what did he cost again? 10 million, wasn't it?
A little bit, tiny bit more. Tiny bit more, but he came. There was a lot of doubt about whether he could do it or not. People were suggesting that he was overpriced, and he's gone on to be Chelsea's best ever player and deserves a statue at the stadium. It captained us to European glory. Won title after title. Is our top ever goal scorer. Frank Lampard is obviously Chelsea's best ever signing, and nobody really comes close. If you wanted to try and do if you wanted to do the equation, we were saying about Kante and what he delivered. Yeah. I mean, we signed Toure Andre Flo for 250 grand from Brambergen. We sold him for 12 million quid to Glasgow Rangers. He won a lot of silverware along the way. 250 grand to 12 million quid. Cesar Azpilicueta, 7 million quid from Marseille. 7 million.
It's incredible.
And you look at what he won.
What did Drogba cost? 17 Drogba from Marseille?
Drogba was about 20 odd million, but famously Mourinho said, didn't he? You sign Drogba and I'll win you the league. And it's exactly what happened.
And it happened.
It's exactly what happened.
It happened. Doing a break there. We was talking about that Real Madrid.
Real Madrid. But the thing is, you were speaking about Real Madrid. Real Madrid 2009-10.
Yes,
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Window ever, isn't it?
Ronaldo, Kaká, Benzema, Xavi Alonso.
It's the greatest window ever.
It's a great window, but it's not an intelligent window. They're just brilliant players. They were already brilliant players. I'm far more impressed at a signing like Christian Fuchs, N'Golo Kante, Robert Huth, that ultimately lead you to a Premier League title. It cost nothing.
They were brilliant players, and you are correct, but Ronaldo wasn't no one thought he was going to go on to be the greatest player of all time.
He won a Ballon d'Or.
He won a Ballon d'Or. I didn't think he was going to go down as a guy that's on his way to 1,000 goals.
He won a European Cup at Manchester United. My point here is you didn't need to demonstrate any brilliance, any footballing nuance and understanding to sign Cristiano Ronaldo.
But when someone's a bargain and they cost 85 million?
Yeah.
He was a bargain at 85.
I'm not doubting he's a good player. I'm just saying that literally any sporting director wanted to sign Cristiano Ronaldo. Any sporting director wanted to sign Karim Benzema. Signing N'Golo Kante, who then goes on to win the league.
Honestly, it's incredible. And where they got him from?
Yeah,
was it the French second division or something?
Incredible.
Could be. You know what? This is a different subject. It was always Keane, Vieira, Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard. Kante has to be in that conversation.
Kante's in it.
Yeah,
Kante's in the conversation. Do you know who else deserves it to be
Kevin De Bruyne.
Cesc Fabregas.
No.
Cesc Fabregas is cruelly
overlooked.
In
that conversation.
Cruelly overlooked when we talk about Premier League.
But he's not in that conversation.
Of course he is.
In that conversation,
Fabregas is comparable to De Bruyne. Of course he is.
No, stop it.
Cesc Fabregas.
What's going on here?
Hey, that's not even controversial. That's one of the least controversial things you'll ever hear.
He's not
Cesc
comparable.
Fabregas.
He's an amazing player, but he's not in that top bracket conversation in the Premier League midfielders with those 6 I just mentioned.
No, you're wrong. You're factually wrong here. There's no way of exploring this aside from just acknowledging that you're incorrect.
Okay, well, I guess we have to shake on the fact that we don't agree.
Or you agree with me.
No, I don't agree.
We'll agree that you agree.
You're wrong. All right, anyway, look, enough of that. It's time for no Googling. The question we have, which club has had the most expensive transfer window of all time, and when was it? This is a simple one. You should know this as well, Mr. Jennings. Which club has had the most expensive transfer window of all time, and when was it? Answer when we come back.
Shin pads are a footballer's best friend. Even if players like Jack Grealish do wear such small ones you can barely even see them. But what's the story with shin pads, and are there actually any rules on how big they should be? It all started with cricket, actually. Cricketers had been wearing shin pads since the 1700s. It was thanks to this guy that shin protection made its way over to football. Meet Samuel Widdowson. He was a cricketer and a footballer. He played for Nottingham Forest back in the late 1800s, and he wanted a way to protect his legs from nasty tackles. Naturally, his mind drifted to his other favourite sport, where players had been wearing these pads for a century. Story goes, Widdowson cut up his cricket pads and popped them on before taking to the footy pitch. His Nottingham Forest team then began wearing them from 1887, and the first known use of them in a match was in 1894, in a match between Newcastle and the then Woolwich Arsenal. Eventually, FIFA clocked on that this kind of protection was pretty important for footballers. And so, in 1990, basically 100 years after Widdowson first put them on, shin pads were made compulsory. It became part of Law 4 of IFAB. That's the body responsible for setting the laws of the game internationally. But the law doesn't actually specify anything about measurements of shin pads. It just says they must be made of a suitable material and be of an appropriate size to provide reasonable protection. It's really vague, even though there have been calls for it to be changed. But for now, that's why Grealish and co can still get away with these ones, which are no bigger than a credit card and which seem to offer little to no protection whatsoever.
Good afternoon, it's Drive on talkSPORT. Ade Oladipo alongside Rory Jennings. The no Googling question before the break. Which club has had the most expensive transfer window of all time, and when was it? The answer is, do you know?
It's got to be Chelsea, isn't it? Recent Chelsea. Clear Lake's first window?
You are correct, sir. 23-24 summer Chelsea. They spent $500 million.
Money well spent as well.
$500 million. Moises Caicedo came in.
Yeah.
Fine. Cole Palmer. Yeah. Nicholas Jackson.
Nope.
Disassi.
Nope.
Lavia.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet, but
Leslie
not a success
Ugochukwu?
yet. Ugochukwu, no.
And Sanchez. Do I need to ask you, Sanchez? Well, then again, did win the best goalkeeper award at the Club World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, let's go out on a high. You know, win the award. Thank you very much, and we'll see you another day.
Okay, same could be said of Luke Shaw, by the way. He looks like he could be on his way out of Manchester United. We're going to discuss what options for him. I still think when fit, could be England's best left back, but he's never fit. But first, the British and Irish Lions are back in action tomorrow. It's live and exclusive right here on talkSPORT. They do hold a 1-0 lead in this series after that win last Saturday, and they're going to be looking to take full control when they meet the Wallabies again tomorrow. I remember you can hear that blockbuster between the Lions and Australia unfold live and exclusive right here on talkSPORT this Saturday. Set your alarms, 10 o'clock in the morning. talkSPORT is, of course, your home of Lions rugby. Aussie legend David Campese, who never holds his tongue, joined the breakfast show this morning and gave his prediction for tomorrow's game.
Well, I did mention last week to the supporters in Brisbane, I said, if you don't beat us by 30, you should all go home. You had 4 warm-up games. The Wallabies had 1 warm-up game. It was a bit of a mess. Didn't pick a total different team. And basically, you just won. I mean, it doesn't matter about what happened in the game. You won the game, fair enough. But for me, there were signs against the Brumbies at the ruck area that the Brumbies countered ruck very well. And on Tuesday night's game, you guys started off really well. Very structured, 14 points, great. Then the other team started to throw the ball around a bit, and then the Lions tried to throw the ball around a bit, and it sort of fell apart. Australians, you never underestimate the Wallabies, but I think it's going to be a very, very close game, but I think we might just get up by 1 or 2 points.
Oh, surprising. I actually thought it was going to go the other way there. David Campese, again, always very vocal, doesn't hold his tongue. Let's get the opinions of former British and Irish Lions Ben Youngs. Ben, I actually thought Campese was going to say that the Lions are going to win it by 20. He's also saying that the Aussies might take it by a couple. Where are you on this? Lions go into it as favourites, but I guess the wounded animal phrase always springs to mind, and I guess the Australians right now are very wounded.
Yeah, how are you doing, gents? No, absolutely. As Campo said, last weekend, the Lions got...
Can anyone lip read? Can you lip read?
I can't lip read.
Hold it, Ben.
He's got... Are you muted, Ben?
Are you muted, Ben?
No.
There you go.
He's back.
Bang, he's back.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Sorry, gents. Great to see you. Sorry about that. I muted when I was listening to Campo. No, I'm joking. The Lions, for me, dominated the game for 68 minutes last week. The last 12 minutes, Australia scored 2 tries, 14 points, made themselves look closer than what it was. It was a real dominant display from the Lions. Do I expect Australia to be better this weekend? Of course I do. They need to be honest with you. They're adding Will Skelton, giant human. He comes into the pack. Valentini's another addition that comes in, and those guys would probably walk into most international teams. So they are huge additions for them. MCG as well. Like there's talk that we may hit 100,000 now. Wow. I mean, what scenes that would be? I'm not sure they quite will, but obviously has the capacity for that. But my thoughts are, I think Australia will be improved. I agree with that. However, I think the Lions just have too much experience, too much firepower in there to get the job done, especially when I look at the contrast in halfbacks. It'll be like, 2 great sort of midfielders in football, really, sort of dictating the pace of the game. And, with Finn Russell and Gibson Park, you've got all this experience, been there, done it, been to big tournaments, their countries, played for Lions. Finn Russell has before. I compare that to the Aussie guys, the halfbacks that, that's who have to control the game. They just haven't got that experience in them. The 9 has got 20 caps, and Lionel, this will be his 4th cap now. To play in front of that crowd in a must-win game is a huge ask for that guy. I'm not saying he can't do it, but you're looking at totally different caliber of players in terms of what the Lions have in those halfback pairing compared to what the Australians have.
Yeah, very interesting. Can I ask you your thoughts, Ben, on Owen Farrell's inclusion in the matchday squad? Do you think he's deserving of his place on the bench?
Yeah, absolutely. I do. I think Owen's been terrific since he's landed and got out there. I think Owen is, for me, he was one of the best captains I ever played under. I can't speak highly enough of him. There was a lot of debate about whether he should have gone when he did get called up. But look, the guy, this is his 4th Lions tour. That is phenomenal. First one in 2013. He's on 4 tours. Look at the experience he's added to that group. And what I love about Owen is he's done his talking through how he's played. He came on off the bench, played really well, was very accurate, added, and then he started the game. And again, was just so tidy in what he did. And you could just see like the presence that he brings onto the pitch, the leadership, but equally the quality. And when I look at the Lions, and I say, like, reflecting on Campo's thoughts from Australia's point of view is, when the game could be in the balance in the last 20 and things like that, I don't see the calibre coming off the Australian bench is what the Lions can unleash. Your Ellis Genge coming on, who started last week, the ball carrying abilities of him, and then you put in like James Ryan in the second row, then you add in Owen Farrell, who's been there, done it. Now, if the game's in the balance at 20 minutes, there's probably not too many people in world rugby that has seen it and done it before other than that guy. So his experience is going to be absolutely vital. So in my opinion, yes, long-winded answer, but yes, I do think he's deserved of being in the 23.
Ben, go as long-winded as you want. It was a fantastic answer. Ben, we always like to nitpick, don't we, as sort of sport fans over here. And I think the first 60 minutes against the Aussies in the first test was fantastic. And everyone's tried to find fault in that last 20. Should we be concerned with the last 20? Did they look a bit leggy? Again, I guess we've got the squad off the bench to, even if we do look leggy, to make the changes. But if you are the Aussies, are you taking comfort from that last 20, thinking, oh, there's something there?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. And, sport, so much of it is sometimes about the emotion, the psychological, warfare of it. And you look at the fact that the Australians will be hanging on to the fact that the last 20 minutes sort of went their way, and they probably said, oh, we got our game plan out there and we started getting into lines, we got speed of ball and we scored 2 tries. And I think they're probably creating that narrative this week, where the Lions narrative will be, boys, for 60 minutes we were so dominant and I didn't get the impact I wanted from the bench. So, both camps will be steering towards the narrative of either the 20-minute finish for the Aussies or the 60 minutes that Lions put on display. And when I look at it as a whole, I still just think that, when you look at the last 20 minutes from a Lions point of view, they didn't quite get the impact they wanted from the bench in terms of adding or lifting the intensity to it. But they also had a huge buffer. They're 24-5 up. That's equivalent of being, 3-0 up, 4-0 up in a football game where, the job is almost done. You start rolling out the substitutions, guys come off. They try and bring the intensity, but they bring it on as a solo point of view rather than what actually the game needs. So, look, I'm not surprised, as a fan watching or having been there myself, that the Lions dropped off with 20 to go. I'm not concerned. Am I surprised that Australia found something in the last 20? No, that doesn't surprise me either. I think what it has done, though, is heightened and hyper-focused this weekend for Lions. Lions will not allow Australia back into the game if they get a nice buffer. They'll keep the intensity. I think that's probably why Andy Farrell's probably made some changes in those substitutions, because he's going to put people out there that he knows that can maybe steady the ship in Owen, but add intensity in the guys like Ellis Genge. So,
Ben, what have you made of the effectiveness of Jamison Gibson-Park's box kicking?
Yeah, look, again, this is, tactically brilliant in terms of short, long passing and creating opportunities for other. That's almost the halfbacks mantra is, like, you got to have speed of ball, get the ball in and out of the ruck, get the ball away to try and create space. But fundamentals have to be extremely solid as well. And that is winning territory. The ball obviously getting kicked, trying to win more territory down the field. And, he's a wonderful kick with the ball. But what I like about him and Finn Russell and the combination they've showed is it's attack first. It's like, what's the opportunity, ball in hand? How do we move this ball to the space? And how do we try and break down the Australian through ball in hand? And as soon as it gets stagnant or not what they want, they're able to recognise that quickly. And as you say, Gibson Park just puts the ball up in the air. We've got wonderful athletes that chase the ball and try and win the ball back. Now, if they win that ball back from his great kick, happy days, Lions go again and almost use it like a bit like rugby league, like another set of 6 tackles, really. So, yeah, he's been a great addition and he's been in fine form. And as I said, really sort of earlier with one of the other questions was, Gibson Park and Finn Russell as your 9 and 10. I just don't see anything other than the Lions win when I compare it to what the Australians have.
Ben, final one, and this is maybe going away from this tour now, but is there an argument or a conversation to somehow get Argentina in this? Obviously, look, it is against South Africa, it's against New Zealand, against Australia, and you look at what the Pumas are doing and how strong they've become over the last sort of decade or so. I almost feel like they're out on the outside looking in and they can't get into anything. Is there an argument to make this whereby you do have the Argentines in this somehow?
Look, I think it's a real bit of a debate. I have a slightly different opinion on that, but Argentina have been knocking at the door, to be invited in. The problem with Argentina at the moment is they don't have they have amateur rugby clubs at the moment. They're not full professional, haven't got enough professional teams to fulfil the fixtures that the Lions need. What I would say, revenue essentially drives the game, drives football, drives rugby, drives cricket, whatever it may be. I think there's an argument for the Lions to go to France at some stage, and travel there. Because I look at all the, you talk about the Sea of Red, they call it, and all the Lions fans out in Australia, which is wonderful, isn't it amazing? And some of them go there for holidays, some of them are expats, whatever, but they're all there following the tour party. Well, imagine it being in France and the people being able to get there for weekends and, midweek games and everything like that. So do Argentina need to be involved? They've obviously played them when they left, and they played them in Dublin before they left. Could they do it as a test series? I'm not sure we're at that stage yet. But for me, if I was to tinker with the current format, of mixing up between, you Australia, then 4 years later New Zealand, 4 years later South Africa, and you do that cycle. I'd love to see France sort of dropped in there at some point, because I think for me, it's about the fans, it's about the experience and what the Lions holds. France have got the stadiums, they've got the rugby clubs in terms of the teams with your Toulouses, your La Rochelles, your Toulons, and all these great clubs. But they're rugby mad in France, and I think that would be an amazing experience for fans to get across the pond and away they go, and what an amazing experience for all the home nation fans they can do.
That'd be incredible. Honestly, the Eurostar would be packed, wouldn't it? The prices would go up immediately. Ben, appreciate you coming on, my man. Thank you very much. Former British and Irish Lions, Ben Youngs, their member. talkSPORT has live coverage of Test 2 this Saturday. Coverage starts from 10 a.m. All right, from 5 o'clock, we need your help, people, with the king of opinion alongside me, Mr. Rory Jennings. We're going to bring you Drive's Confessions. This is your chance to give us your football opinion that you're usually too scared to say out loud. You know, the ones that you have with your mates in the pubs. This is your chance to come on national radio and have those opinions. 03717 223344. Welcome back. You're listening to Drive on talkSPORT. Ade Oladipo Rory Jennings just coming out to 5 o'clock. And Motorpoint, new car with same day drive away available on all cars. Just book a test drive today. Still to come, we're going to be asking you for the opinions that you're scared to say out loud. Phone lines are open for that already, by the way. 03717 223344. But just quickly, champions Chelsea will host Man City on the opening weekend of the new Women's Super League season. Man City, sticking with them, are set to re-sign goalkeeper James Trafford from Burnley for 27 million. It comes 2 years after they sold him in a deal worth up to 19 million 2 years ago. Make up your mind, City, make up your mind. And it's the third day of the fourth test between England and India at Old Trafford. Watching for talkSPORT is Mr. Sam Ellard.
England continue to pile on the runs. 471 for 4. The lead is 113 runs. Joe Root has his 38th test match, 140 not out. And good to see the captain, Ben Stokes, in the runs. He's been a little bit short of runs in this test series. He has made lots of 30s and 20s, but yet to really push on. But he's got to 52 here. It's a controlled and measured innings, although as I say that, he throws the most outrageous reverse sweep. He is heading the turf, but he gets 4 runs for it. India have got spin from both ends. Jadeja and Washington Sundar, and England continues to put the pressure on India. 477 for 4. Stokes has 56. Root has 140. The lead is 119 runs.
Cheers, Sam. More updates from Sam throughout the show. All right, all this week, talkSPORT is asking, what is the nation's second sport? I think we all know that football is number one by a country mile, especially here at talkSPORT. But what sport is the next best thing and why? Whether it's boxing, cricket, rugby, darts, whatever, these sports need your vote. If you'd like to join the discussion, just head to the dugout at talksport.com/dugout or via the talkSPORT app. It's been the talk of the office with some talkSPORT names throwing their weight behind their favourite sports. Here's former Welsh striker Dean Saunders, this is going to be interesting, making a case for his second favourite sport.
Hi, I'm Dean Saunders, and I just want to give you a couple of reasons why I love golf. When we play football, we were bred to win every day. And then at 35, when you're too old, you can't run anymore. So you need something to compete at. You never get to the bottom of golf. You think you've cracked it, but you haven't. But when you stripe a couple of balls down the fairway out the middle of the club, it's not as good as scoring a goal, but not far off. That's why I love golf.
To be fair, he sold that well. And look, he's probably right. Like, if we really think about it, golf is probably the answer.
No,
I mean, for the nation, not for you.
It was a great.
Everyone plays golf.
I can't argue with Dean's.
Everyone plays
answer.
golf, don't they? Every former footballer or current footballer plays golf.
Yeah, yeah, I'd agree with that, actually. Yeah. Look, I think golf's certainly got a new lease of life, hasn't it? It seems to be being played by very young people. It seems to be quite trendy.
What's yours?
I think the answer, though, is cricket.
No, not what the answer is.
My answer is cricket. I'm campaigning here for cricket.
Absolutely not.
I mean, it is. There's nothing better, Ade. There's nothing better than being at Lord's or the Oval, taking in a test match in the sun.
Yes, there is.
Gin and tonic in the ground of Lords. There just isn't anything quite close.
You think that's better than being ringside at a big boxing match?
The incredible sway of advantage, the ebb and the flow over 5 days, it all comes down to potentially one ball.
See, that's the problem right there, isn't it?
Beautiful.
See what you just said there? Over 5 days.
The atmosphere at the cricket, it's unlike anything else. You've got the tradition of Lords, and then you've got the lawlessness of the Hollies at Edgbaston.
Really? What are they? Ultras?
It's great.
What are they, ultras?
I'm going to the Oval. I'm going to the Oval next week. I'm going to the Oval next week. I think it's quite a release, actually. You know when you're as tribal about football as we all are.
Yeah.
There's something that's quite a release to just go to a test and enjoy it for what it is.
I think there was a time when cricket could have been the answer.
Cricket is the answer.
I don't think it's even top 5 in this country.
What are you talking about? Mate, you're having a mare today. Fabregas isn't top 5. Cricket's not top 5. Nobody's top 5.
Football's number 1, yeah?
Football is the country's favourite sport, yes.
I'd say darts could be second.
What are you talking about?
The numbers on darts are absolutely through the roof. You can't get a ticket.
Eddie, what are you talking about?
When the Premier League darts are on, you can't get a ticket. I could walk up to Lords right now and get a ticket.
The Ashes is definitely the best non-football sporting event. The most important non-football sporting event is the Ashes.
Okay, do you think, and I love this.
You're wrong. I can't believe you've argued for darts.
If I give someone a ticket to the Ashes,
yeah,
or say Fury's fighting AJ Wembley Stadium, which one are they going for?
But that's a ridiculous comparison.
No, it's the Ashes. I'm saying a big boxing match.
If I offered you, if you were to offer somebody a Liverpool ticket or the Super Bowl ticket, they probably take the Super Bowl. But it doesn't make the NFL better. No. You go to the NFL because it's a spectacle.
A big boxing match or 5 days of people throwing this red thing down.
You're mad. You're mad to be derogatory towards cricket.
Have you got any other
You're
sports?
Even more mad to try and say it's darts.
Darts is darts is absolutely massive.
Do you think darts is big as a bigger zeitgeist in his country than cricket?
I bet you any money. The numbers, and we'll get these numbers. I bet you any money, the viewership numbers on darts absolutely annihilates anything cricket.
You know I'm
right. No. The viewership, of course it does.
What do you honestly believe that the darts at Christmas when people are dressed as Smurfs is more important than the Ashes.
No, don't say important. I didn't say important. I'm saying in terms of viewership, more people would tune in for that. Yeah, people dressed as Smurfs and holding up slogans.
More people watch Logan Paul have a spectacle fight with Mayweather or whoever it was, right?
Yeah.
Does that make it a better?
I'm just saying it's the second biggest sport now.
Right. So
not saying it makes it a better sport. Second biggest. Not saying better. You're right. I see what you're going with the argument, and you was going to win there, but I have to hold you back. Not a better, but I'm saying in terms of viewership right now, darts is through the roof.
I don't care about numbers.
I was watching cricket.
The nation's second favourite sport is undoubtedly cricket.
It's not.
The vast majority of football season ticket holders give up on their team.
They've got about 7 options of cricket. They got one day. They got Test cricket.
Bit of 2020.
2020 out there.
Yeah, the 100. Why not?
What's that one?
The 100's great.
See,
it's great.
Nonsense. Have you got any other sports?
No, I think cricket. You've asked for my second favourite. I think that cricket.
He was going to say paddle. He's changed his mind.
I do.
He's going to say paddle.
I mean,
look at him. He's going to say paddle. He's whipped out.
I decided against saying paddle because I thought you were going to mock me.
I was scared to mock
my second favourite sport, if you're asking me personally, particularly to play, is paddle.
See,
but I didn't want to say that on air because you seem to have found that you seem to be using that as something to beat me with.
All right.
Do you play paddle?
No, I don't.
You should try. Great game.
Ridiculous game. It's for people that can't play tennis.
Gameplay by men.
People that can't play tennis or failed at squash. So they play a game with the courts are smaller and the ball is.
It's a wonderful game.
Nonsense.
You wouldn't be able to play. That's why. You haven't got the burst of pace.
Get me a paddle racket.
You haven't got the burst of pace.
I beat him in the Super Bowl with a torn hamstring. Remember that race?
No, I was wearing jeans. You made me race you in jeans.
All right, a reminder that if you want to have your say on the nation's second favourite sport, very easy. Just head to the dugout at talksport.com/dugout or via the TalkSport app. Can we get the numbers on the darts and the cricket, please, during the break? Can we get the numbers on the darts and the cricket? Because I think you are very, very wrong. All right, don't forget, from 5, we want your opinions that you're too afraid to say out loud. So this is, we're asking you to do something you don't really want to do here, but I think you're going to do it. This is football opinions only, people, as well, please. 03717 223344.
When Sir Jim Ratcliffe took control of footballing operations at United, the Manchester-born billionaire was somewhat welcomed in as a homegrown hero, ready to save the club from the dark days of the Glazers. But in just 12 months, he became a punchbag for many fans. So what happened? Let's take a look and you can decide for yourself. The important context here is that over the last 3 years, the club has lost over 300 million quid. And from day dot, Ratcliffe committed to fixing this, which of course is the right thing for the club. But what seemed to get fans' backs up is the way Sir Jim Ratcliffe, accompanied by Sir Dave Brailsford, went about it. For example, talkSPORT understands their lunch options at the Carrington canteen have been reduced to just soup and sandwiches, which the higher-ups at the club say will save them 1 million quid a year. Now that might make sense for many who don't get free meals at work themselves, but it gets a little bit more picky than that. It was reported that after staff brought some stationery, they were ordered to send sellotape back because it wasn't considered essential. The reward for being Steward of the Week used to be £50, but that was scrapped and replaced by a paper certificate. And such is the grip Ratcliffe has on spending, he reportedly scrapped company credit cards, meaning some staff racking up hundreds of pounds worth of expenses and spending weeks out of pocket waiting to be reimbursed. But it's not just the stingy decisions around the amount of tea bags in the cafeteria. In 2024 alone, Ratcliffe oversaw 250 redundancies and more were announced at the beginning of 2025. Now, while there are people who acknowledge that United staff numbers are overinflated, it's the optics which aren't great. Because while all this has been going on, Casemiro's getting paid 350 grand a week and the club forked out 14 million quid getting rid of Erik ten Hag and Dan Ashworth. But United fans' rage doesn't just stop here at the cuts. Ratcliffe's unpopular decision to introduce a flat ticket price of 66 quid for every fan, even children, certainly did not go down well. For fans, it feels like the very foundation of the club's support is being attacked for the sake of making marginal financial gains. But Ratcliffe has backed it, saying if you shy away from difficult decisions, then nothing is going to change. And time will tell whether these measures will improve operations at the club and help drag standards up on the pitch. But one thing's for sure, his first year wasn't exactly a charm offensive, and there's still a long way to go for United to be back to where many say they belong.
Here we go, just gone 5 o'clock. You're listening to Drive on talkSPORT. Ade Oladipo, Rory Jennings still to come. We'll be heading into Drive's TARDIS and giving our predictions for the upcoming season. Get involved in that one as well, by the way. Who do you think will win the league? Who will get relegated? Player of the season as well. But now, the Lionesses are looking to make history on Sunday, and it's live right here on talkSPORT.
Kelly inside the box and she pokes it home off the goalkeeper and in.
For these moments as a little girl, so that little girl today enjoyed every moment of that.
Now time for another summer of unforgettable moments.
This is a new moment, and before every tournament you experience a different thing.
And Jimin! 2-2!
That's what we feel when we put the shirt on. It's that we give everything, we run ourselves into the ground.
Holmberg, it's over! England are in the semi-final!
No, we don't make it easy, but we definitely put on a show for everyone watching.
Kelly, save! Kelly there again, it's in! England 2, Italy 1. This is just extraordinary. Salah, oh, she scored! Beckham beats never near post! And Salah finds a way!
I think England, I'd actually prefer to go up against Spain than I would Germany.
But it's the world champions Spain, who are one game away from European glory. But England's Lionesses will have something to say about that.
Should be a good one. England's women will be looking to retain the Euros when they face Spain, the mighty Spain, by the way, the favourites for the tournament, the best team in the world in the final on Sunday. That's all doom and gloomy for me, innit? But it's true. It's the Lionesses' third final in a row and a rematch of the 23 World Cup final, which saw Spain come out on top. Kick-off for that one's 5 o'clock. All the build-up from Wembley Box Park at 2. But now, though, it's time for this. Okay, so I expected a little stab and a bit of music and a bit of a jingle there. Absolutely not. Yeah, this is Drive's Confessions, our feature where you provide your safe space to tell us the football confessions that you've always been scared to say out loud. It doesn't matter how outrageous your opinion is. We want to hear it. And who better to kick off than the most opinionated man? Do you think you are the most opinionated man on talkSPORT?
No, of course not.
I think...
I don't even think I'm not top 3.
You certainly are.
I'm not top 5.
I'd say Simon's number 1, but you are very opinionated.
Mr. Adrian Durham?
Yeah, it doesn't say as radical things as you do. You
don't say radical things. You're talking about radical.
Erling Haaland's a flop.
That isn't what I said. You're taking me out of context.
What did you say? What did you say again about Erling Haaland?
We'll talk about that another time. It's irrelevant.
What was it?
It's irrelevant for now.
Remind me. I've genuinely forgot.
You know exactly. I suggested that perhaps he wasn't suited to this league. I suggested that maybe his skill set wasn't necessarily going to thrive in the Premier League.
You somehow, though, still believe that. That's the crazy thing.
No, I don't. I don't believe he's the player that everybody else seems to think he is. I think he's overrated. I think Alexander Isak is a far better striker than him, for example. But most people would say that Erling Haaland's best striker in the country.
Alexander Isak's a far better footballer.
Striker.
Footballer.
Goal scorer. He is.
Clearly not a better goal scorer.
He is.
It's clearly not.
No. Simply scoring more goals, simply scoring a better volume of goals doesn't make you a better goal scorer.
No, but it does, though.
No.
It's in the title. Goal scorer. I scored more goals.
Erling Haaland scored more Premier League goals than Harry Kane that season when he won the treble, but Harry Kane was a better goal scorer.
How?
Because he was playing with duds at Tottenham and he still nearly outscored Erling Haaland. Context is key.
No.
You know, when you've got like Kevin De Bruyne putting them on a plate for you, it's different.
That, but Aguero never scored the same amount of goals as Erling Haaland did.
The game wasn't catered to him in the way that it... The game at City wasn't catered to him the way that it was.
You like him, What's he done?
Haaland?
Yeah.
I don't dislike him. I don't know the man. I just don't rate him. No.
Okay.
And I hope that never happens. I certainly don't hope to either.
All right. Do you have any crazy opinions, apart from Haaland? Do you have any opinions that you're like, don't really want to say it loud, but might as well, the floor is yours. Go on.
But I don't even know. It's so out there, and I think it kind of belies my character. It gives you an insight into me as a man, and I don't necessarily want to say this out loud.
Go on, whisper.
But for you, and on my Drive debut, I will tell you the truth. Do you know what I'd have no issue with, and actually encourage in my players? Cheating. I don't care. Like I genuinely don't care. You know, in terms of like people see that the game should be played in a particular spirit, or people think that players should behave in a particular way. People get really animated when somebody dives.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. I love it. I want a Chelsea player to dive and win a penalty. I think Thierry Henry, you know, when he handballed it to stop Ireland, he did nothing wrong. He did nothing wrong. He did absolutely nothing wrong.
I would go as far with you as the rest. That
he did absolutely
is
nothing.
Just
he did. Thierry Henry did everything that he should have done. Diego Maradona. Look, I'm a proud.
You're talking real cheating here.
I'm talking.
I thought you were talking about diving and getting a yellow card or winning a penalty. You're talking the highest level of cheating.
I'm talking Diego Maradona. If I was Argentine, I would love what he did. I genuinely would love everything about it. Thierry Henry. If I were French, I would love everything about it. It would mean more to me. You know, one of my favourite moments was being at Old Trafford when Didier Drogba effectively won us the league, scoring a goal when he was 3 yards offside. It makes it better. It makes it sweeter. And I don't like this. I'm not a proud man. I don't particularly like myself, if I'm totally honest with you.
No. It's okay.
But this gives you an insight into who I am.
That's how your brain works.
How have I
not known this about you? I've worked with you nearly 5 years.
Would you genuinely discourage your players from cheating?
Yeah,
would you?
I hate it.
So
you know when I see a player roll around and I can't take it, and I'm embarrassed when my players do. I kind of like, oh.
You're playing a European Cup final. You're in Paris, the one where Vinicius Junior scores. Liverpool lose a European Cup final.
I remember
Let's pretend that Mo Salah goes through on goal, and he could initiate contact and win himself a penalty. Do you want him to initiate that contact and go down, or do you want him to resolutely play on and let off a fairly scuffed shot? What do you want him to do? Because I want my player
to the phone lines.
You coward, Oladipo.
I can't answer it. Giles, Aston Villa fan. Giles, go on. The floor is yours. Things that you discussed with your friends about football that you've almost been too scared to really openly say. You're now going to say to the national radio. Be careful, Giles.
Wembley Stadium, overrated. Shouldn't have been built there. Should have been built on the M40.
Round of applause for this man.
By Doug Ellis. The London press and the FA are obsessed that everything has to happen at Wembley. Why?
You're not wrong, Giles. I'm from Northwest London. Wembley is inconvenient even to me. It's a dump. It's a pain. It's a nuisance. The acoustics are dreadful. The atmosphere is dreadful. It's been tailored. Everything about Wembley is a disaster.
And they've tried to make Wembley way into something, and it's nothing. It's nonsense. Got a few stupid shops on the walk-in.
No, he's completely right. It should have been. They're right. Doug Haley should have built it in the
really annoys me about the semi-finals. I know everyone talks about it, but we need to bang the drum a bit more. Semi-finals being played at Wembley makes me feel sick, because I grew up as you grew up, and it was never at Wembley.
Yeah,
you know
I remember going to Villa Park, watching
Hillsborough.
Yeah, Wood Hullet scoring against Man United. It was amazing.
Charles, kicked things off with a great
to the choir here.
Honestly, that's great. That's great. All right, John, Chelsea fan. This could be anything. This one. Is this one of your mates? John.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello, mate.
How's it going? I just want to say that Hazard is better than Salah was, is, or ever will be.
See, this is.
You can't argue with it.
Of course, you can argue.
There's a particular metric where you can make it Salah, but in terms of being a gifted footballer,
he seems to have said everything there. Was, is, will ever be.
In terms of being a footballer, I imagine. Look, you can't argue with Salah's output.
In terms of just being a silky footballer.
Yeah. In terms of the grace with which he carries himself on the pitch.
Who would you rather have in? This is a silly question to you, because you're going to say Hazard. I love to ask the neutrals who they'd rather have in their team.
No,
their absolute pomp.
You cannot argue with Salah's output. Yeah. You can't argue with Salah's output.
But you make it sound like he's Erling Haaland, like the ball just bounces off him. Salah's a wonderful
I'm just
footballer.
saying that he doesn't have the grace of Hazard. You could argue that he's better because of the output, and I would concede that that's true.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever seen anything like it, like the consistency from Salah year in, year out. But in terms of being an artist, and that's what I think footballers often should be.
Yeah,
expression.
Was Hazard ever in the conversation for a Ballon d'Or?
No, because it was timing. Timing was a problem for him.
What?
Messi, Ronaldo.
and Ronaldo.
Yeah. Timing.
But was he ever third then? Like we say that, like Ribéry, Lewandowski, they were always in that, that argument. I never remember Hazard being in it.
Hazard was also very unfortunate that he didn't win a European Cup.
Oh, here come the excuses for Erling Hazard.
No, but look, overall, I don't even necessarily know if I agree, because I think Salah's output just deserves huge admiration.
Great one. That's a great point.
It's an interesting one.
A lot have made it as well, John. You should have gone a bit more radical there. Max, Notts County fan. Where we go on this one? It's going to be interesting. Max, go on. Floor's yours.
Hi, lads. I've just realised that this is a show that Rory's going to agree with everybody's controversial opinion.
You are correct. This Confessions has been built for Rory's debut on Drive, basically.
And to be fair, he'll agree with mine as well. Notts County are a bigger club than Brentford.
Ooh.
Easily.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah, I mean, Juventus copied their kit, didn't they?
Yeah, but Notts County have been out of the top flight for like before I was born.
Yeah, but if we're talking top flight, so Notts County have spent 30 years at top flight. Brentford has spent about 9. We won the FA Cup. What have Brentford won?
It's true.
Nothing.
But when does that credit in the bank run out?
It doesn't. It doesn't. Not? Silverware, it doesn't.
So what would you rather do? Would you rather just take over, just remember the last 10 years or whatever, or shall we remember the last 150 years?
Max is right.
Yeah.
Max is right.
Of course
Brentford, in terms of their infrastructure and their history, they're a League One team, aren't they? They're a League One team, fairly insignificant. Don't have a rival.
I'm not doing this with you.
It's not doing something.
Championship team.
At best.
Yeah.
At best. Like when you think about how the small area of West London, they're the 4th biggest team in West London. Like QPR looked down their nose at them.
Yeah.
They got some front, but QPR looked down their nose at them. So no, I agree.
That's a great one. Max
County have a rich
he agrees, Max. I'm still on the fence. I'll have to think about it a bit longer. Nick, let's go to Nick, West Ham fan. This might be controversial. This with Nick, is it? Oh no, Aidan. Let's go to Aidan. Apologies, the Newcastle fan. Uh-oh. Go on, Aidan.
Hello.
Hello, mate. Good, mate.
Oh, well, you're probably doing a little bit better than me at the moment.
yeah, just a bit.
This one's probably going to sound a little bit like sour grapes, but it's not. But I firmly believe that Liverpool will not finish in the top 2 next season.
yeah, it does sound like sour grapes a bit, doesn't it?
Sour.
Did you think this before they nicked Ekatike and potentially Isak?
Yeah, unless I've got the calendar wrong this year, the AFCON is 1 month, and then we've got Ramadan immediately afterwards.
But don't you think...
You've just been talking about Mo Salah.
No, you are right with that, and I think there's been a concern for Liverpool for a while. Obviously, before they had Mane and Salah, so it was a bigger problem. But don't you think that forward line now, especially Florian Wirtz coming in, who can play on that right-hand side, sort of softens that blow of losing Salah for about, I think it's 4 or 5 games?
They've got a gel, though. And I watched Salah at the Carabao Cup final, and I genuinely think he's a wonderful player. And the end product, as Rory said, is always fantastic. But he looked absolutely fatigued at the Carabao Cup final. People were going for drinks breaks whenever they got the opportunity, and you could see he looked withdrawn. It was towards the end of Ramadan, and he just
No. You've got a great point. Second half of seasons, I think we've seen it. The drop off, like he starts like a house on fire, doesn't he?
I mean, there is a chance that Aidan made a decent point about Salah's drop off towards the end. I wouldn't necessarily agree with it, but it's something that we could explore. Yeah. But there's absolutely no chance that Liverpool don't finish in the top 2. I mean, I don't see a world where Liverpool don't win the league, but we cannot possibly suggest they finish 3rd.
You say that.
Who are the 2 teams to finish above them?
You say that, but if someone like Aidan called up last season and said Man City don't finish in the top 2, you would have said exactly what you're saying now. You'd have said there's absolutely no chance Man City don't finish in the top 2.
It's a good point, well made from you.
Thank you very much, sir.
It's rare.
We do try on this show, don't we? All right, more calls after this. 03717 22 344. Come and have your say on Confessions Hour. What do you want to confess that you would never normally talk about, but the floor is yours to do it on national radio? Give us a call. Afternoon, you listen to Drive on talkSPORT. Ade Oladipo, Rory Jennings and Motorpoint. Thousands of cars, all at unbeatable prices. Guaranteed. Just head to motorpoint.co.uk for more details. Still to come, we're going to be building up to this Sunday's Euros final between England and Spain. Should be a cracker. Just quickly, Newcastle are interested in RB Leipzig striker Benjamin Šeško if Alexander Isak leaves this summer. FA Chief Executive Mark Bullingham has said that there is no need to extend the powers of VAR to include corners and second yellow cards, and it's the 3rd day of the 4th test between England and India at Old Trafford. Watching for talkSPORT is the mighty Sam Ellard.
Ade, I'm surprised after your hatred for cricket. I'm surprised you even coming to me, Ade. If it's just,
I love it.
If it's just a guy throwing a red thing down at the other end. I mean, it's day 3, mate. What are we still doing here? This should have been over 3 days ago. Anyway, I'll keep this super short for you, Ade. Okay. England 499 for 4. Ben Stokes is not at the crease the minute. He's retired on 66. Fingers crossed. This is nothing serious. It looked like it was just cramp when he went for a run, but he's walking off. 66 runs to his name, not visibly hobbling as he went off. Let's hope it's something temporary rather than a permanent niggle, but he just pulled up as he went to complete a single. So Ben Stokes has retired on 66. Joe Root has reached 150. He's second on the list of all-time leading run scorers in Test match cricket, gone up 3 places today. He's not out at 150. Jamie Smith has just come to the crease, and India cannot wait for the close of play in an hour's time. England continue to pile on the runs, out 499 for 4 with a very healthy lead of 141 runs.
For the record, I love cricket.
No, you don't.
I do.
No, you don't.
1 second. I just love boxing, darts, athletics, tennis, and basketball more. So it's number 6 or 7 on my list.
You were very sneery about 2 sports. Both of them I took personally.
What, paddle?
Paddle and cricket.
Paddle.
And I felt like both of them were an attack on me.
Embarrassment, that is.
Mate, I got married at Lord's and you come with this
I was going to mention, I didn't know you want me to mention.
You come with this attitude.
Sorry.
And then paddle once a week. You should see me. I'm a demon.
Bentley plays paddle as well.
Demon backhand I got. You wouldn't be able to last. You wouldn't be able to last at all.
What, in paddle?
Yeah,
Against you?
Smash you.
Against you?
Smash you.
Can we just arrange this to be videoed live?
No,
I'd absolutely batter you at paddle. Never played it in my life, and I'll batter you. I'm just more of an athlete than you.
More of an athlete.
I'm just more of an athlete than you. That's what it is. Look at me, look at you.
Hear yourself, athlete.
All right, we're continuing to take your calls on Football Confessions.
Watch this. These are my confessions.
Enzo Maresca is obviously front and centre of that conversation. He is so woefully out of his depth. He is so inadequate. Enzo Fernandez has been a pitiful player for Chelsea basically since he signed. Enzo Fernandez has been one of the worst signings that Chelsea have ever made. Erling Haaland will not live up to the expectation. If he scores 15, it would be a really good season.
These are my confessions. Just when I thought I said...
There's been a wicket in the cricket. I'm coming back to you, Rory. Don't worry. Let's quickly go back to Sam Ellard. Sam.
Yeah, a magical day for Joe Root is going to come to an end. England will be 499 for 5. Joe Root gone for 150. Really nice delivery from Ravi Jadeja, the left arm spinner. A flighted ball that Joe Root looked to drive through the offside. He missed the ball, beam on the outside edge, and he's well stumped by Drav Jarrell. A special day for Joe Root, becoming the second leading run scorer in the history of Test match cricket, but he goes for 150. England 499 for 5, leading by 141 runs.
Cheers, Sam. It's a bit harsh on you, that wasn't it? That little clip.
Hateful.
That was harsh.
It was hateful.
Yeah, that was harsh.
But they're all my words, and you've got to you've got to ride it, haven't you?
You've got to ride it, and you are doing so. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. This is time for you to confess things that you would never normally say, but it's national radio. It's a Friday. No one's listening, are they really? All right, let's go to Nick, West Ham fan. Nick, go on, confess away.
Good mate.
Right, I will support any English club in Europe.
Nick, come on.
That's sacrilege.
Nick, that's horrendous.
Nick, how old are you? Approximately.
35.
Right. So do you vaguely remember when Millwall went off to play Ferencvaros?
Yeah, I was one-off though.
Did you support them?
I support the English aspect.
So no. So it's a lie. So you support every English team in European competition,
so
apart from Millwall?
When Arsenal were playing PSG, you supported Arsenal?
Well, I'd prefer Arsenal to win.
I like the way he's quite good with his words, isn't it, Nick? You're never going to Nick, are you? He's quite good with his words.
Chelsea are playing Bayern Munich in Munich to become London's first ever representative of European Cup winners. Who did you want to win that game?
Well, when you won on penalties.
Yeah, exactly that.
I supported Chelsea. I'd been to the playoff final for West Ham before that, and came back and we watched Chelsea down the pub. And I was.
You must have been the only West Ham fan that was happy with that result.
I get what he's saying though. I would never do it. I want every other club out.
I want everyone to lose, even when people say they're not rivals.
Yeah,
you know when somebody weird makes it into Europe, like when Brighton played Ajax. I wanted Ajax to win. Yeah, I wanted Ajax to win. I remember watching Brighton. They scored a last-minute winner against Marseille. I was heartbroken. It had nothing to do with me. It had nothing to do with me at all. I was heartbroken.
Nick, don't know about it, Nick. It's good though. I mean, this is the confession time, Nick. You're going to get a lot of calls from your West Ham fans about that Millwall stuff. All right, let's go to Jack, Chelsea fan. Jack, floor is yours. Have your say, mate.
Hi, boys. Great show as always, and congrats, Rory, on your debut.
Thank you very much, sir.
This is an interesting one, but I genuinely believe this to my core. John Obi Mikel is the most underrated midfielder in Premier League history.
Ooh.
It's possible. It's certainly possible. Sensational footballer, genuinely.
Me and Mikel are good friends now as well.
For what he
worked with him a couple of weeks ago.
All right, it's ain't about you. Nobody cares.
I worked with him a couple of weeks ago for a month.
What's that got to do?
We're good friends.
It's got to do with the prize of tea in China. We're talking about the brilliance of John Obi Mikel on a pitch, not your friendships.
Most underrated midfielder in Premier League history.
I think there is a case here. There is a case. He isn't acknowledged at all. Like, at what he did, he's one of the very best in the world. His performance in the Champions League final that I just mentioned, he's the reason we won it that day. He was unplayable that day. You know, against a brilliant Bayern Munich team in Munich. You know, Schweinsteiger trying to dictate the tempo, and John Obi Mikel was just unbelievable.
Not sure.
Really brilliant player.
Not sure was the end. You know,
Don't get anywhere near the credit he deserves.
Yeah, agreed. When I think underrated, I don't know why he springs to mind all the time, but Michael Carrick always springs to mind.
It's similar. It's a similar
type of player as well.
position, yeah.
Similar type of player.
No,
maybe it's just that role that is underrated as opposed to, you know, we always think of goal-scoring, swashbuckling midfielders, and neither of them are that.
Yeah, I think he's very unlucky, John Obi Mikel, as well, because when you think of Chelsea midfielders of that era, there are players that are better than him. Like, you're always going to say Michael Essien, you're always going to say Claude Makélélé, you're always going to say Frank Lampard, who, in fairness, were all better than John Obi Mikel.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that John Obi Mikel didn't have a couple of seasons where he was a world-class player, and he should be acknowledged as such.
You know, when we say underrated, and me and you have played this game before, so don't jump on me when I say the name. Is Yaya Toure underrated? Think about what I've said.
Yeah, I think he is a bit.
Yeah.
I think he is.
He really is. On his day, he's the best midfielder in the Premier League.
The problem that he had, he doesn't have a longevity argument.
That's the
like
issue.
What separates Yaya Toure? Like, I think if you were to have a conversation around the best midfielders in the Premier League era, and you were to say on their day, best single season,
Yaya Toure,
best single season,
all day
like
long.
maybe you go Fernando Torres up front, best single season, Luis Suarez. I think you can go best single season, Yaya Toure.
Yeah.
For that one season, what was it, 20 goals? It was like an unbelievable.
Just brushing midfielders off, like just get off.
But he just hasn't got the longevity argument.
Yeah, all right, so we've got time. Let's go one more very, very quickly. Jordan, Arsenal fan. Jordan, go on very quickly, yours.
Nice one, boys. Good afternoon. My very quick one, like the match. It's quite controversial. I am not sure after the past few tournaments if our golden generation of England stars are good enough to win the major honours.
Oh, this current lot.
This current lot is definitely good. That is controversial because he's definitely wrong.
No, he's definitely right.
He's definitely wrong.
He's definitely right.
No. He's incredibly wrong.
Right, who's going to be our centre-backs?
This crop of
Who's
players...
going to be our centre-backs? You keep talking about the front lot. You're going to do the front lot all the time. Gahey and who?
This crop of players is about as good as you could ever dream of. This crop of players was better than Spain, who we just got beat by. What we have a dearth of manager talent. The reason that we didn't win in Germany last year, it's a Gareth Southgate issue, not a talent or squad issue. It's clearly a cowardly issue from the dugout. It's the fact that we played Kieran Trippier at right back. It's the fact that we constantly played Phil Foden when he did nothing throughout the tournament. It was cowardly managerial decisions that cost us. It was nothing to do with the ability within the squad. You got the best player in Spain playing for England. You got the best player in Germany.
Who's the best player in Spain? Lamine Yamal.
No, going into that tournament was Jude Bellingham.
Okay.
The best player in Spain that year was Jude Bellingham.
Yeah.
The best player in Germany that year was Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Obviously, Phil Foden had just won the league. And then
the
they
best
get
player
to
in Germany might have been that year Florian Wirtz, but I know what you mean.
No, it was Harry Kane.
Okay.
Definitely Harry Kane.
Just to suit your argument.
It's always Harry Kane. No, like the issue isn't the squad. I thoroughly disagree with that. I think this squad they're amazing.
I don't think they've got a good enough centre-backs, but me and you could argue that until the death. All right, let's go. Sammy, very quickly. Man United fan. Sammy, go on.
Hi there. My name is Sammy. Quick one. David Beckham is the most overrated free kick taker of all time. Juninho Pernambucano of Lyon was way, way better than him. And you can see loads of his clips on YouTube.
Yeah, we know Juninho, PSG Juninho. Yeah, we know him.
Mm-hmm. No, not PSG.
Lyon.
He was
you want Lyon Juninho? Okay.
Yes, Lyon, Brazilian Pernambucano. It was way better than David Beckham. And even better than Roberto Carlos.
If
hardly ever gets mentioned.
Do you know what's quite interesting here, Sammy? If we agree with you, like I don't, but if you pretend let's say Juninho is better. Let's just say that. It doesn't mean Beckham's overrated just because you've found one person who's better than him, in your opinion.
The reason why I say that he's overrated, there was a Champions League game ages ago where Glenn Hoddle was on TV, and we had what's this guy's? This Dutch, your Chelsea manager.
Ruud Gullit.
Yes, was in the studio. And they were arguing. And then they showed Juninho's clips. And Hoddle just kept quiet. This guy was not in the main thing because he played for Lyon. And Lyon the French league wasn't big back then. And also, he wasn't a big player.
No, but what we're doing here, Sammy, we're finding one person better than Beckham as opposed to Beckham being overrated. Beckham was good.
Beckham was amazing.
Juninho and Mihailovic.
If Juninho was better than Beckham, he would have been playing for the Man United treble winners, wouldn't he?
He wasn't a better free kick.
He wasn't a better free kick taker. He wasn't better at anything.
Great call, Sammy. He wasn't
better at one thing than David Beckham.
Of course, he was a better free kick taker.
Of course, he wasn't. This is like that nonsense people used to say about James Ward-Prowse. Scoring free kicks for Lyon against Montpellier is easier than scoring. No,
dead ball's a dead ball regardless.
The pressure and the context of the situation is relevant. David Beckham's pinging them in for England when it most matters. Pinging him in for Manchester.
One against Greece.
Pinging him in for Manchester United against Real Madrid. Pinging him in for Manchester United against Real Madrid.
So he's a better free kick taker than that Juninho.
Of course he was.
Better than Mihailovic. Remember him?
Yeah, Mihailovic was brilliant at Lazio. Yeah. But no, David Beckham is I can't understand his slander of David Beckham. David Beckham was absolutely robbed of a Ballon d'Or. Manchester United win a treble. Manchester United beat...
Who won it that year?
Rivaldo and Manchester United beat Barcelona along the way. David Beckham should have won a Ballon d'Or in '99, and I don't understand. There seems to be this rewriting of history these days that David Beckham was more of a brand and less of a footballer. Iconic footballer. Unrivaled footballer. Unrivaled.
Still to come, we're going to have some fun with the best of talkSPORT, but first, it's time for no Googling. Unrivaled. Which player has scored the most hat-tricks against a single club in Premier League history? I've got the answer in front of me, but I knew it. Go on, quick guess. Have a guess.
Robbie Fowler, Arsenal.
The answer when we come.
Is it right?
No.
Shin pads are a footballer's best friend. Even if players like Jack Grealish do wear such small ones you can barely even see them. But what's the story with shin pads, and are there actually any rules on how big they should be? It all started with cricket, actually. Cricketers had been wearing shin pads since the 1700s. It was thanks to this guy that shin protection made its way over to football. Meet Samuel Widdowson. He was a cricketer and a footballer. He played for Nottingham Forest back in the late 1800s, and he wanted a way to protect his legs from nasty tackles. Naturally, his mind drifted to his other favourite sport, where players had been wearing these pads for a century. Story goes, Widdowson cut up his cricket pads and popped them on before taking to the footy pitch. His Nottingham Forest team then began wearing them from 1887, and the first known use of them in a match was in 1894, in a match between Newcastle and the then Woolwich Arsenal. Eventually, FIFA clocked on that this kind of protection was pretty important for footballers. And so, in 1990, basically 100 years after Widdowson first put them on, shin pads were made compulsory. It became part of Law 4 of IFAB. That's the body responsible for setting the laws of the game internationally. But the law doesn't actually specify anything about measurements of shin pads. It just says they must be made of a suitable material and be of an appropriate size to provide reasonable protection. It's really vague, even though there have been calls for it to be changed. But for now, that's why Grealish and co can still get away with these ones, which are no bigger than a credit card and which seem to offer little to no protection whatsoever.
Good afternoon, you listen to Drive. Ade Oladipo, Rory Jennings. The no Googling question before the break. Which player has scored the most hat-tricks against a single club in Premier League history? The answer is...
Don't know.
Guess.
I did guess and I was wrong. I said Robbie Fowler, Arsenal.
But you were close.
Was I?
Yeah, Liverpool. Luis Suarez against Norwich City. I think it's 3 hat-tricks against Norwich. He was so good.
Of course. First day of the season.
So good.
Yeah.
Like, peak Luis Suarez, frightening.
Oh, yeah.
Frightening. All right, still playing with basically no knees. Still running around with no knees for Inter Miami. It's incredible. All right, still to come, we're going to be asking for your 25-26 predictions. But now it's time to get the latest from Switzerland with our friends at McDonald's.
UEFA Women's Euro 2025 update on talkSPORT with McDonald's. Got Big McDonald's hunger? Order the iconic new Big Arch on the McDonald's app. Available from 11 a.m. at participating restaurants.
Yeah, England women will be looking to retain the Euros when they face Spain in the final minutes live on talkSPORT this Sunday. It's the Lionesses' third final in a row and a rematch of the 23 World Cup final, which saw Spain come out on top. England forward Beth Mead has been speaking to talkSPORT's Courtney Sweetman-Kirk ahead of the final, and she discussed how England will approach the game.
Full English, Sunday roast, fish and chips.
I think it's just being able to back yourself as a team, be prepared to be under pressure. You know, Spanish team love being on the ball. I think ego out of the window. You have to be comfortable being uncomfortable against these type of teams, and it's not always going to look pretty. We're got to be very, ruthless in the way we play and be very much switched on from minute one to the end of the game. And I think obviously from that experience of playing Spain numerous times in Barcelona and stuff like that, that's what you kind of learn in the moments of playing against them. So hopefully we can implement that on Sunday.
Looks very comfortable, doesn't she? Talks well. Let's welcome in Courtney Sweetman-Kirk, who's been out there for talkSPORT covering this tournament. Courtney, look, I almost feel like sometimes we take it for granted that England are into their third finals in a row. I mean, this isn't normal, right? It wasn't normal procedure before. Serena Wiegmann's come and she's reinvigorated everyone. She almost makes you feel like it's failure unless you don't get to a final now. That's how good I think she's done. How are all the ladies taking it? Comfortable? Do they look nervous? I mean, Spain are the best team, I think, in the world. Or is it a case of, let's just get the job done?
No, I think they're all taking it in their stride, the Lionesses. They've created an opportunity now where, that pressure comes with the job because they've done so well, obviously winning the Euros, then getting to the World Cup final, as you mentioned. So, especially from an outside perspective more than anything, I think you're right, Serena Wiegmann and the Lionesses have created more of an expectation around getting to these major tournament finals. But no, they're all very calm, they're all very relaxed. Sort of speaking to Beth Mead, I saw Chloe Kelly earlier as well, that I know from my time at Everton, so I was having a bit of a laugh and a joke with her, and yeah, they're ready for it. I think they know obviously it's going to be very difficult, especially the Arsenal contingent that played against Barcelona in that Champions League final that was full of Spain stars, and again obviously the players that played in the World Cup final and have played against Spain in the Nations League, so they're not taking anything for granted. But as Beth mentioned in that little package there, you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, but also they have a belief in themselves that they can go and beat Spain.
Courtney, Serena Wiegmann has been speaking to the media in the last few moments, and the big news from that conversation was Lauren James. She's in a race to be fit for Sunday. How much of a blow do you think it would be if she doesn't win that race?
Yeah, I think it would be huge, and I spoke to Serena myself as well, and she was mentioning, look, that she's been on the pitch, she's been on the grass, but obviously sort of the after effects of that knock on her ankle has, it has flared up, but as I say, she's been on the pitch, the physios, the doctors and everyone else are doing everything that they can to make sure she's fit. But yeah, if she doesn't play that game, it's a massive blow for us. I always say this about Lauren James. She has something that nobody else in that Lionesses squad in terms of that little bit of magic, the way that she plays off both sides. She's so two-footed. Her technical ability is so far ahead of so many players in the world. So yes, it would be a massive blow. But then if you think back to the World Cup final, the fact that we were missing Beth Mead, missing Leah Williamson because they both have ACL injuries, and we still got to that final. So yes, look, there's no doubt in my mind it'd be a massive blow. But if she wasn't to play for any reason, then I think we've still got enough ability in the squad if we play to our full potential.
Yeah, I mean, what could potentially come off the bench is frightening right now for Serena Wiegmann. The swirl of noise over here, Courtney, is that if Lauren James doesn't play, obviously Beth Mead came on for her last time, that Chloe Kelly gets the call to play. I mean, look, decisions for Sarina Wiegman. Which way do you think she's going to go? Because right now everyone is screaming for Chloe Kelly to play. And if you're Sarina, she's probably thinking, well, off the bench, Chloe Kelly's done well, Adjaman's done well, let's just keep them on the bench and bring them on.
Yeah, and I'm one of those people, to be honest, regardless of whether Lauren James starts or not, I want Chloe Kelly to be starting. I think she, the impact that she's made, the fact that she's been there and done it, in the previous Euros with the Arsenal in the Champions League final, so she's got that experience, whereas, maybe that's the thing that in the back of my mind maybe stops me clambering for Adjaman to start, although, again, she's had a brilliant tournament. But I think for Sarina Wiegman, there's a level of consistency that she likes within the squad, and also maybe a loyalty to a degree as well. And it's hard, isn't it, because there's an argument where that you say, well, actually, if you maybe change it from the start, then we're not in a position where we're having to fight till the 96th minute. But I suppose the other side of the coin is actually she's making the right substitutions, the right decisions at the right time. So for me personally, Ade, I would like to see a little bit of a change in the starting lineup. But who am I to criticise Sarina Wiegman, because we are now in a third major tournament final.
Indeed. Courtney, stay there. There has been very quickly a wicket in the cricket. Sam Allard watching for talkSPORT. Sam, which way has it gone?
England 515 for 6th wicket. Jamie Smith for 9. Jasper Bumrah hanging a ball outside the off stump. Jamie Smith pushing on the ball, found the outside edge, gone for 9. England 515 for 6, leading by 157.
Courtney, I do think that it's interesting and fair to say that England have stumbled our way through both the quarter-final and the semi-final. Look, somehow we have managed to get over the line and win both games, but that process isn't going to work in a final. What do you think needs to change? Is it mentality, or do you think that it needs to be maybe even a formation tweak?
I would say maybe slightly formation, but again, more so going back to what I said about Chloe Kelly, more so a personnel. I think there's been a lack of energy. I think the Italy game's slightly different for me. Yes, it was close, but I think we had more control in the game as a whole, and sort of the Italians tried to play the game of time waste, and it sort of backfired on them in the end. But I agree, in terms of the Sweden game, how we got out of that, I do not know, because especially in the first half, we were completely out of control. Sweden had everything, and I think if they scored that third goal just before half-time, but Hannah Hampton saves it, then it's completely game over. So tweaking formation potentially, because there's times when we've been chasing the game that we've gone through at the back, and that worked with the wing backs. But for me, I think it's a personnel, and two, it's maybe a bit of a mentality or an energy change, because we've seen it in the second half, sometimes even without the change in formation, that there's been a different type of energy in the squad, and it's almost needed to go in at half time and potentially had a bit of a rocket from the manager. So I think there's a lot of variables at play, but there's no doubt what you say, Rory, in terms of if you let Spain get their noses ahead, you're not going to be able to get back into the game playing at that level. There's no chance in terms of the way that Italy and Sweden took their foot off the gas. Spain will not do that. They will go for the jugular, as the saying goes, and they will not let that lead lie. So I think we've got to go out with high energy, the high press. I think Spain play a particularly high line and are quite slow at the back, so that's something that we can exploit, but we have to do it from minute one. We can't wait till the 70th minute to start playing.
Well, without putting the fear of God into our listeners, you've probably already done it, actually, to be fair, Courtney. How good are this Spanish side? I mean, there were those that would have watched Barcelona in that Champions League final, and it's pretty much the same squad, to be honest with you. That midfield's the same anyway. How good are they?
They're incredible. For me, the main thing that I always look at is how quickly and precisely they move the ball in the final third around the box, how they create different angles. And probably the best example of that was Bonmati's goal against Germany, the way that she goes into position, her body shape, then she's got the presence of mind to let the ball obviously go through her legs, and then she spots the fact that Ann-Katrin Berger has then took that step, and it opens that area at the near post. So, and this is the thing then you're talking about, right, well, Bonmati, Ballon d'Or winner, so if you take her out of the game, then we're good. No, we're not, because we've got another Ballon d'Or winner in Alexia Putellas. You've got Patrick Iharo, you've got Claudia Pina, who's had a fantastic tournament, and she can score something out of nothing. So sort of I still stand by what I say in terms of the defence. I think that's an area to exploit, but the midfield and the forward line are scary, and again similar to us in terms of they've got a lot of strength to come off the bench, and someone like Sama Paduelo, for example, who the pace and power that she's got that could potentially exploit our back line, where we've seen issues against France and Sweden, for example, where pace has frightened us. Yeah, they've got so many weapons in the armoury.
Courtney, do you think that the World Cup final defeat that we suffered to the same opposition in 2023 will be on the players' mind at all? Or do you think they just approach this like it's another game without any kind of reflection on what happened previously?
I think there will be a little bit, and there's been a lot of talk maybe about revenge, and they've batted that away very quickly. I think it's more of an avenging the issues that they felt that they didn't play to their potential in that major final. I think that's what disappointed the girls more than anything. And since then, they've played Spain in the Nations League this year. Earlier in the year, they won 1-0 with a goal from Jess Park. I know Spain beat us in the return fixture as well. But I think it's more about this final, making sure that they retain the Euros. Obviously, something that would be massively historic for the Lionesses. So yes, I think there's always that in the back of your mind to a degree, but I think 99% of it will be approaching this game for what it is and trying to bring the European trophy home again.
Let's hope they do that. Enjoy it, Courtney, as much as you can on Sunday. Thank you very much. Remember, it is live on Sunday on talkSPORT, England versus Spain, to determine who is the European Championships. That was all thanks to McDonald's.
UEFA Women's Euro 2025 update on talkSPORT with McDonald's. Got Big McDonald's hunger? Order the iconic new Big Arch on the McDonald's app. Available from 11 a.m. at participating restaurants.
Right, when we come back, have you heard about this, the best of talkSPORT?
Most certainly.
Are you ready for it?
Oh, yes.
Okay, stick with us when we come back. Best of talkSPORT.
There is one thing that is unequivocally true, and that is that talkSPORT is a meritocracy.
Good Good afternoon, you're listening to Drive on talkSPORT. Ade Oladipo, Rory Jennings and Motorpoint New Car with same day drive away available on all cars. Book a test drive today. Still to come, we're going to be heading into Drive TARDIS and giving our predictions for next season. Prediction, very quickly gone. Prediction.
What for? Give
Wins.
me for who wins the league?
Yeah.
Liverpool.
Second.
Chelsea.
Huh?
Yeah. Chelsea.
Chelsea?
Why not?
Relegation?
Brentford.
Yeah, that's the big one, isn't it? That's the big takeaway.
Be great.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
It would be great.
Are you not working with Natalie Sawyer next week?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she's a big Brentford fan.
It'd be great for the Premier League, though. It's not a personal thing. It's just I'm just talking about. I'm doing what's good for the greater good for football.
Okay.
Get rid of Brentford. Get some of the big clubs up.
That's all you wanted.
Sheffield Wednesday. Sunderland. Yeah.
All right. Just quickly, Victor Gyökeres has been given clearance to complete. I don't know what that means. Has been given clearance to complete a move to Arsenal. Is he signed or not?
Yeah, I think he is. Look, this is just an elaborate way of dotting the I's and crossing the T's.
Yeah,
he will be an Arsenal player.
On a private jet.
Yeah, he will be an Arsenal player. It's a good signing for Arsenal.
Massive signing.
It's a good signing.
If it lands, then your prediction about Chelsea coming second is not going to come to fruition.
The only problem now is the pressure really is on, because if Mikel Arteta doesn't win something significant, I think he's gone.
Yeah.
You can't sign a player of this quality.
Is FA Cup significant?
I consider it to be significant.
Okay,
I don't know if enough people agree with me, and I believe you on that. Like the FA Cup, in my opinion, it's a great season if you win the FA Cup. If you marry it up with finishing in the top 4, qualifying for the Champions League, like winning in Wembley is huge.
Yeah.
Like winning an FA Cup, it's huge.
Yeah, maybe.
I think more people are beginning to feel like you than me. But
I don't know if it's big enough for the Arsenal project, but I know what you mean. All right, FA Chief Executive Mark Bullingham has said that there is no need to extend the powers of VAR to include corners and second yellow cards. Anyway, enough of that. It's now time for this. All right, this is the best of talkSPORT and Friends, where we run you through some of the recent highlight moments from across the talkSPORT network and our sister stations. Let's start with Sports Bar from early this week with Jamie O'Hara and the Beast, Adebayo Akinfenwa. They were discussing Barcelona's latest signing.
Marcus Rashford there speaking. Why do we always do this accent as soon as we go to like Spain or Portugal, wherever we go?
We have to, because they won't understand our normal talk, so we feel like we're blended in.
You know, we start trying to talk all posh, or whenever I go and order something in Spain, I go, "Oh, my friend," and I'm like, "Lads, just talk, just talk how you just normally talk." You know, like, because we all do it. We just talk normal.
We do.
I don't know why we do it. Every English person I know, as soon as they go into a foreign country, they start trying to just talk like with like a Spanish twang. And it's not who you are.
We want to blend.
Yeah. You know what? To be fair, Marcus Rashford did try, didn't he? He tried to speak with an accent.
Mate, it's so funny.
I don't know.
It's so funny.
I don't know
why do people do it?
I don't know. The worst one has
Steve
to be...
McLaren.
It's the worst one ever.
This is Joey Barton did a
Steve
ridiculous
McLaren's
one.
still doing it with the Jamaican national team.
He's not.
He's doing it with the Jamaican national team. If we can find clips, I'm telling you now, he's doing it with the Jamaican national team. What's the best accent you can do?
I can't really do it. I don't know. I can't really do accents.
Can't do like a Scottish one or anything. An Irish one.
Mancunian.
Go on.
Homage to Oasis.
Go on then.
All right, mate, you're listening to talkSPORT. All right, mate, yeah, you're listening to talkSPORT. I'm live with Ade Oladipo.
That is pretty good. That doesn't even sound like...
What about you?
Can't do any. All right, if you could speak any language, what would it be?
Spanish. I'd be a great Spaniard.
Yeah.
I'd be great. I'd be swanning about in my pastel clothing, short shorts.
I always get jealous of presenters like Kate Abdo, who can do like 4.
I know.
Alex Aljo can do like 4.
They're so clever.
Yeah, I can just about speak English. What's the best country you've travelled a lot? This might be hard. Best country you've ever been to?
Spain.
Well, what's going on? Everything's Spain here today.
Spain. I mean, I don't want to go far. I go to the same resort every year. I don't go anywhere. Me and Spain, we've got a nice relationship.
Must love you.
I think I'd be a good Spaniard. I think that kind of blonde-looking Spaniard. I feel like I could be that, like Gucci. I could be Gucci.
Olmo
Fernando Torres. I could be like a blonde.
Why have you picked the good-looking ones?
Because they're blonde. They're fair. They're fair. I'm fair.
All right, remember that Sports Bar Weekend returns tonight from 10 o'clock with Ben Fletcher and Carlton Cole. It's your turn. You see that bit there which says Rory?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm catching up, mate. That's my cue. Right.
Rory.
Right, on to this morning's breakfast show with Alan Brazil and Gabby Agbon-Lahore. Gabby was naming his 6 best friends at talkSPORT.
Alan, Ali, Simon, O'Hara, Cundy.
Football friend.
Cundy.
Right.
Dino number 6.
Dino's not talking to you. He's not talking to you. I would score Dino off. He is not talking to you.
Mate, how low would he have to go? How many names would he have to say before he said Ade Oladipo? You've done a show together.
You know what it is? When he said Ali, I thought he said Ade.
No, he didn't. He definitely said Ali. Mate, you didn't get a mention, and he did 6 names. 6 names a lot, you know.
6 names a lot.
I wonder how far he would have to go before he said you. Do you think you would have been 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th?
Hang on, I'm slightly disappointed.
You would also think, Addy, that you would just be front and centre of his mind. Just current. It's not whether he likes you or not. He's just been working with you for 4 days. You think he would have just said you?
Bought him coffees as well every day this week.
Really?
Yeah, bought him coffees
I
every
wonder
day
if
this
he
week.
prefers me to you. I've only met him about 3 times. Do you think
I'm slightly disappointed about that.
Are you actually upset?
Well, 6, yeah.
No, you weren't 6. I don't think you were 6.
No, I mean, you get 6 names and I don't even get an option.
No, Dean Saunders was 6th.
Well, nice.
Dean Saunders. Oh, that's unbelievable. Would he have been in your top 6?
No, of course not.
I wanted to ask you, who's your best friend at talkSPORT?
You, Rory.
Okay, who's your top 5? This is on-air talent. Top 5.
This is pressure. Rory Jennings, Gareth A. Davis. Like Gareth.
Yeah,
he's a bit crazy, but I like him. Simon Jordan. Working with him next week, I have to say Simon.
Yeah.
Darren Bent.
Yeah, lovely man.
Benty. I mean, he's like 4. Oh, Majestic.
Yeah, good man.
Like Majestic.
Good man.
And I'd have to say...
This is big, because someone significant's going to be left off.
This is massive, this one. Last one's massive. Clinky. Clinky's a good boy, Clinky.
Wow.
Yeah.
No Shabana Hearn.
Well, he's coming down in about half an hour, Clinky,
No
isn't it?
Shabana Hearn, that's harsh.
Clinky's coming in half an hour, that's
really?
why.
And in terms of all the celebrities that you know, we see you. Anybody that follows you on Instagram will know that you hobnob with some of the world's finest.
I do.
Who's the nicest celeb you know? Oh, I know who the answer is for you.
Go on.
I was so impressed when I came to your house and I saw the jacket.
Go on.
Dimitri Bivol.
Dimitri Bivol was the nicest. Yeah, I'll tell you who's very nice as well to me. Gareth Bell.
Gareth Bale?
Gareth Bell was a nice to
I
me.
love that you're friends with Gareth Bale. That is an icon.
Yeah, it was nice to me. All right, let's finish very quickly with a clip from last night's Sports Spa from Jamie O'Hara and Cotton Cole. They were joined by Man versus Food star Adam Richmond, and he was discussing Britain's dishes.
I love English Sunday roast, fish and chips. Then I might say, Tony's pie and mash. Tony's pie and mash at West Ham.
You know, I will say, well, like I'm saying, we're going like classic British though, right?
Just whatever you think.
Well, any good place, because there's so much great Indian food in this country.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's all right.
If you go to like Birmingham,
Go
to
Brick
go
Lane,
to a
Brick Lane.
or go to a Desi pub in Birmingham and get a Balti or something like that. I think any good British curry usually will hook you up.
Go on then, signature dish. Like, what is your go-to meal?
In an Indian restaurant?
No, yours. Anything. British meal. Anything. Any meal.
Oh, I don't know. I like granola. Does that count? That's what I like.
Granola?
Yeah. You don't like granola?
You're on death row, last meal. And
If I ever murdered anyone in Kentucky or something like that, and I ended up having a final meal.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bowl of cereal. Mate, you can't overlook cereal.
It's got to be spag bowl, innit? The answer is spag bowl. The answer is spag bowl.
No.
Remember that for all the best bits of TalkSPORT every day, you can download the TalkSPORT Daily podcast, and don't forget to download the TalkSPORT app where you can swipe between TalkSPORT, TalkSPORT 2, and all of our sister stations so you never miss a moment. All right, just coming up to 6 o'clock when we come back. Did you know that Mr. Rory Jennings was in Doctor Who?
Oh, for crying out loud.
So he used to look to the future. When we come back, we're going to look to the future. We're going to try and give you our 25-26 season predictions. It's a meritocracy.
When Sir Jim Ratcliffe took control of footballing operations at United, the Manchester-born billionaire was somewhat welcomed in as a homegrown hero, ready to save the club from the dark days of the Glazers. But in just 12 months, he became a punchbag for many fans. So what happened? Let's take a look and you can decide for yourself. The important context here is that over the last 3 years, the club has lost over 300 million quid. And from day dot, Ratcliffe committed to fixing this, which of course is the right thing for the club. But what seemed to get fans' backs up is the way Sir Jim Ratcliffe, accompanied by Sir Dave Brailsford, went about it. For example, talkSPORT understands their lunch options at the Carrington canteen have been reduced to just soup and sandwiches, which the higher-ups at the club say will save them 1 million quid a year. Now that might make sense for many who don't get free meals at work themselves, but it gets a little bit more picky than that. It was reported that after staff brought some stationery, they were ordered to send sellotape back because it wasn't considered essential. The reward for being Steward of the Week used to be 50 quid, but that was scrapped and replaced by a paper certificate. And such is the grip Ratcliffe has on spending, he reportedly scrapped company credit cards, meaning some staff racking up hundreds of pounds worth of expenses and spending weeks out of pocket waiting to be reimbursed. But it's not just the stingy decisions around the amount of tea bags in the cafeteria. In 2024 alone, Ratcliffe oversaw 250 redundancies and more were announced at the beginning of 2025. Now, while there are people who acknowledge that United staff numbers are overinflated, it's the optics which aren't great. Because while all this has been going on, Casemiro's getting paid 350 grand a week, and the club forked out 14 million quid getting rid of Erik ten Hag and Dan Ashworth. But United fans' rage doesn't just stop here at the cuts. Ratcliffe's unpopular decision to introduce a flat ticket price of 66 quid for every fan, even children, certainly did not go down well. For fans, it feels like the very foundation of the club's support is being attacked for the sake of making marginal financial gains. But Ratcliffe has backed it, saying if you shy away from difficult decisions, then nothing is going to change. And time will tell whether these measures will improve operations at the club and help drag standards up on the pitch. But one thing's for sure, his first year wasn't exactly a charm offensive, and there's still a long way to go for United to be back to where many say they belong.
You listen to Drive on talkSPORT. Ade Oladipo Rory Jennings still to come. We're going to be discussing Christian Eriksen's potential move to Wrexham. Remember, his contract has expired at Manchester United. But first, the British and Irish Lions are back in action this Saturday, and it's live and exclusive right here on talkSPORT.
Pride of Lions. From misty pubs and muddy boots, they flew with banter, stakes and suits.
Here we go, Test Match Series, up and running. The Lions kick off.
The Lions, bold, a touring band, to point red streaks on Aussie land.
Glide into the right-hand side.
1 minute scrums, the next to sing. A pride that jokes but fears nothing.
We are taking them boys to the Hurt Arena this weekend.
The Wallabies are putting it up. Jorgensen will take it out to the air, and Jorgensen scores in the right corner.
To win this series, you had to win 2 games, and that's what we're going to go and do next week.
Scottish Grant and Leinster Soul, a Cockney jab and Valley's roll. 4 nations, one very wild crew, with dreams stretched deep in red, gold, white, green and dark blue.
The British and Irish Lions win 2-1 with a remarkable performance in Sydney.
Came as men from different shores to go into Test week. Let's hear the Red Sea roar.
Shivers down the spine. That you can hear that blockbuster between the Lions and the Wallabies unfold live and exclusively right here on talkSPORT this Saturday. Coverage starting from 10 a.m. and the voice that you just heard there on that piece was a snippet of a poem written by Lions prop Pierre Schumann. You can find the full poem on the Lions social media channels. All right, talkSPORT is, of course, as you know, the home of Lions rugby. Right, there's been another wicket at Old Trafford. One of my favourite ever sports. Sam Allen is watching the fourth test between England and India. Sam.
Cheeky. England 528 for 7. Chris Woakes bowled by Mohammad Siraj, who's got his first wicket, gone for more than 100 runs. The ball that she kept a little bit low, hit the under edge of Woakes' bat, and Woakes bowled for 4. So Ben Stokes, who did go off on 66 a short while ago with cramp, is back out to bat. Liam Dawson at the other end. We got half an hour left of day 3. England 528 for 7 and leading by 170 runs.
Cheers, Sam. Thank you very much. More from Sam a bit later. It's now time for this.
You ratted on Gran. How else would the police know where to look? You've been informing on everyone, haven't you? Even Gran.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, this is Drive Silence with myself, and if you didn't know it, former Doctor Who star Rory Jennings travelled through time to give our predictions for the upcoming Premier League season, and we also want to hear yours as well. So you can give us a call 03717 223344. Get your calls in it now and let us know what you think the future looks like in the Premier League. So while you get your calls in, Rory, a bit more about your former life as a Doctor Who star. Like, how old were you when you was in Doctor Who?
23, 24, something like that.
Yeah.
And I was playing a 15-year-old. I was playing a 15-year-old. I was about 23, 24. Yeah.
Big role as well, wasn't it?
It's a nice part. Yeah, I was very lucky to get it. It was a very nice part. It was a wonderful experience. Yeah, it was amazing. And for me, it really did matter. It's one of the most prestigious
Doctor Who
shows,
massive, isn't it?
Yeah,
worldwide as well. Like, you think of like EastEnders. You was in there as well, like Corrie EastEnders. They're massive over here.
Yeah.
Doctor Who's just worldwide. Yeah. Everyone goes.
Yeah, I went to a convention once. They're called Whovian conventions.
Where?
Darlington.
I thought you were going to say in the US.
The point I was about to make, though, they do happen all over the world, but people from all over the world were in Darlington rather than the other way around. But no, it's a wonderful show, and I was very privileged to be a very tiny part of it.
All right, I'm going to ask you for your future predictions. I've got some questions. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here we go. Will Liverpool make it back-to-back Premier League titles?
They will.
Yeah,
they will. I think Liverpool will win the league. I think that they win the league whether or not they sign Alexander Isak. I also happen to believe that they will sign Alexander Isak. There's just no way. I mean, I think for Newcastle, they need to keep hold of him. I think that they desperately need it for what it represents. I think if Newcastle are to become the club that they want to be under the PIF, in fact, it's almost a definition of being a serious club. They're not a serious club if they allow their best player to leave. But with or without Alexander Isak, Liverpool are the best team in the country. They were the best team in the country last year, and they've got even better.
Is there an argument to say, it's Liverpool, so there's always pressure, but there was really no pressure for Arne Slot last season? It was a free hit because of Klopp going. It was almost like, just make top 4. So, do you know what I mean? Now, though, pressure's on. The big money being spent. Florian Wirtz has come in. You've got to do it now. Everyone's saying you've got to win.
Yeah,
that's different. Isn't it?
There is an added element of pressure, but what I would say is when you run out at Anfield in front of 60,000 people, there's pressure anyway. I mean, the general footballing consciousness last season didn't predict Liverpool to win the league. I certainly didn't predict Liverpool to win the league. But I think people if you're playing for Liverpool Football Club, your aspiration should always be to win the league. Yeah. It's one of the most successful football teams in the world. If you are wearing that liver bird on your heart, you have a responsibility to go into every single season and every single match expecting and hoping to win it.
Fair. All right, who else is going to make top 4? Go on, top 4.
I think Chelsea make it.
Yeah, same top 4 then, isn't it, really?
I think Arsenal make it. I think Man City make it. And actually, I could see a world where, when we were young, you had an established top four, didn't you?
This could be.
There were 4 top teams, and they would interchange every season.
Yeah.
I don't see the likes of Tottenham being able to close the gap. I think Manchester United are possibly in a worse situation than they were even in this time last season.
Even with the inclusions, Mbeumo and Cunha.
Yeah, I think it's managerial, and I actually think that it's an epidemic at the club. I think the culture of the club.
I almost think it's too big, and this isn't a dig at Amorim. I think it's just too big for him. Yeah. I think if Klopp or even Guardiola went there, I think it'd be too big for them as well. Who's the Nottingham Forest this upcoming season?
Really difficult to predict that, isn't it? Really difficult.
Who would have said Forest?
I mean, who would have said Forest? The clubs that you would always give an honourable mention to, certainly of late. You talk about West Ham, but I don't think they're going to be very good.
I think they're in trouble.
I just don't rate Graham Potter at all. Yeah. Graham Potter and West Ham United, they just don't chime with each other.
Getting banned, we don't know.
I mean, maybe Tottenham could do better than expected. They've made some good signings, and I think Frank's a good manager. But ultimately, I just feel like the top 4 will pull away and will establish themselves even more firmly as a top 4.
All right, will any of the 3 promoters' sides stay up? Leeds have spent some money. Burnley have splashed. All of them have spent money, to be fair.
God, I really hope so.
Because it's almost 3 that come up go down.
Yeah, the lack of jeopardy around relegation last season was one of the worst parts of the season. It was stale. Like, the relegation battle should be one of the most enticing and interesting parts of the season. Who's going to go down? Like, the perilous situation that you can find yourself in 2 games from the end of the season, desperately needing a win. And we knew it was going down by about November. It really was dull, and it was a shame. And I don't like the disparity between the Championship and the Premier League being so big.
It's got so big now.
And I would love a couple of them, especially this year.
I think Brentford get involved in this relegation battle.
I'd love Brentford.
You know who else I think might be a surprise? Brighton. And I know I'm going to get a lot stickier. Everton. You know, that moving to a new stadium, I think, is a bit of a problem. I almost feel like
David Moyes doesn't go down.
Yeah, fair, but no, I don't think they'll get relegated. I think they'll beat you there or thereabouts.
In terms of being sucked into it, I would just love. And look, I'm a Chelsea fan. I don't say this with any love towards Leeds United. I hope Leeds United have a terrible season. I certainly don't want them to win anything. But the Premier League is a better place having clubs like Leeds United and Sunderland in it. You've got a spring in your step when you go to Elland Road. It matters when Leeds United come to Stamford Bridge. It matters when Leeds United go to Old Trafford.
Yeah,
like
there's something about you're right. There's something about like any Liverpool going to any other promoted club. I'm going to Leeds, and that's a tough game.
Going to Leeds, and Sunderland bring a lot culturally. They bring a lot to the Premier League as well. So no, I'd love Leeds to survive. I'd love Sunderland to survive, and I really like Scott Parker. So I'd like Burnley to survive.
Well, that's all not going to be true, is it?
No. I mean, it would be a miracle if one survived, to be totally honest.
Agreed.
But I'd like to see a world where Sunderland and Leeds could potentially.
Okay, will your best friend Erling Haaland reclaim his crown as top scorer?
No.
Who will be?
Alexander Isak at Liverpool. Alexander Isak at Liverpool. He'll win the Golden Boot.
Okay. Will an English side win the Champions League?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's the contender here really is Liverpool, because you know when we talk about Alexander Isak moving to Liverpool and the ramifications of that transfer will be felt as acutely in Madrid by Xabi Alonso, in Barcelona by Hansi Flick, and in Paris by Luis Enrique.
100%.
Like, everybody is worried about Liverpool becoming this unstoppable juggernaut, and that's what they're on course to become. Like, I genuinely see this potential signing, and this window already as an era-defining signing.
All right. These are really... You ready for this? Is a good one. Which signing... This is such a difficult question, so they're going to clip this up if you get it wrong. Which signing will be flop of the season? Ooh. Oh. Flop of the season.
Okay, well, so there's got to be a lot of expectation.
This is it.
Does Cunha do it at Man United? Does Cunha actually do it at Manchester United?
That, innit? Mate, the jeopardy around him and in Burma, because, as you say, everyone goes there and nobody does well.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be his fault, but the club's in such a bad position where you're right, he could go there and nothing.
Yeah, like for the record, I rate Cunha. I think he's a good signing.
No.
But when you think about what's expected of him, he is supposed to help elevate a former great, a former giant of the game.
Too big a job.
Yeah,
it's too big a job.
Player? Yeah, like, I think both Cunha and Mbeumo are good players. But are they this? You know, like, nobody would have predicted Mason Mount having a terrible time and being Man United's worst ever signing, or one of Man United's worst ever signings. You know, it hasn't exactly gone.
They have to land straight away.
Yeah, like Ugarte. Look how many could you list? How many could you name?
Talk about him, by the way, coming. Like, Ugarte's going to come and he's going to be this sort of midfield linchpin.
Nothing at all. And then obviously you've got the joke like Højlund. You know, it's been very underwhelming for Xerxes. How many times are we going to talk about Man United players coming to Manchester United, coming to redefine the club, coming to help the club get back to former glory, and ultimately contributing nothing.
Look at young Lenny Yoro. I know he's still young, but he came and there was a lot of... We bought one of the best young centre-backs in the world, and he's almost vanished a little bit. He almost looks a bit too lightweight for the league. Anana, as much as I think he's awful, he came in as this fantastic goalkeeper. Did you watch him in the Champions League for Inter Milan? And all of a sudden, he can't do anything.
This is it.
You know, I think you've hit the nail on the head there.
It's most likely to be... It's most likely to be a Manchester United player, isn't it? History has taught us that that's who it's most likely to be.
Yeah, okay. Which team is going to be the biggest disappointment?
I mean, in terms of
these are hard questions.
In terms of underperforming,
yeah.
I mean, who do you think the expectations on? Newcastle, like a Newcastle. If you think about who Newcastle United were 6 months ago, they ended their 70-year drought for silverware. They made it into the Champions League more recently than that. They had this glowing midfield, the best midfield in the league.
Yeah.
A lot of people, me included, were saying that Eddie Howe, their manager, should be the England manager. It felt like the club was on the up. They had really impressive owners in terms of their ambition, and they had an excellent manager and a brilliant team. It's gone stale, isn't it? It's gone really stale. I mean,
I remember when they bought the club, 4 or 5 years ago, and I remember asking you, and you said, I think by now we said they're going to win the league.
I thought,
we expected...
but that wasn't my fault. I was right. They were talking about signing Kylian Mbappe, and they still got Dan Burn playing, and they were talking about signing Mbappe. That's not my fault. I was right. If they'd done what they said they were going to do. No, the point is, when I said that they could win the league within 5 years, I said that because they were talking about signing Mbappe.
Yeah.
They've still got Dan Burn playing. Like, they didn't do what they said they were going to do. It's not my fault.
They haven't done their part of the deal.
Exactly.
All right, final one. Who is going to be the first Premier League manager sacked?
Ruben Amorim.
No, mate. No, don't be silly.
I don't think that's silly at all. It's a fairly sound suggestion, don't you think?
I don't.
Well, it's certainly not a left field suggestion.
Ruben Amorim being sacked.
Ruben Amorim being sacked at Man United.
The first.
Yeah, you've reacted like I said, Pep Guardiola.
Because they're not going to give him the money they've given him already, and they're going to spend a bit more. I don't think they're going to give him that money and then get rid of him. I feel like they know it's a project.
Do you believe?
And the owners always speak about that. We understand it's a project. It's a project. It has to be Keith Andrews.
Potentially.
Keith Andrews.
Keith Andrews.
I'd be shocked to be last 10 games.
It could potentially be Keith Andrews.
Yeah.
Did you happen to be listening to talkSPORT? I listened to a wonderful show where Martin O'Neill was a guest.
Go on.
Like, he's brilliant, Martin O'Neill. I love listening to him.
Fantastic.
He was talking about Keith Andrews getting the job, and he was... He wasn't full of compliments about him, but he wasn't full of compliments, no. And with that in mind, and with Brentford selling all of their players,
everyone.
Like, I mean, Thomas Frank took everything, didn't he, to Tottenham with him? He took the kitchen sink. The one thing he left behind, they made manager.
Keith Andrews.
Yeah.
All right, we're taking your calls. There you go. That's Rory's predictions. We're taking your calls. What are your 25-26 season predictions? Give us a call right now. 03717 22 3344. Sounds like an episode of Sesame Street or something. What kind of music's this? It does, doesn't it? Listen to Drive on talkSPORT. Ade Oladipo, Rory Jennings, Motorpoint, thousands of cars, all unbeatable prices guaranteed. Just head to motorpoint.co.uk for more details. Still to come, we're going to be discussing Christian Eriksen's potential move to Wrexham. I thought he was a bit older than he is, you know. He's still young, Eriksen, 33. 33. Could do a job there in the Championship.
Wrexham?
Could do a job in the Championship.
Yeah.
Could do a job. Now, though, it's the third day of the fourth test between England and India at Old Trafford. Watching for talkSPORT is the great Sam Allard.
10 minutes to go on a day that is pretty much going to win the series for England. They're 2-1 up with 2 to play. They are well clear of India on 535 for 7, leading by 177. Ben Stokes has just returned to bat after going off for a cramp, so he's got 70 runs to his name. Good to see Ben Stokes back in the runs. Liam Dawson on his test return has 19 runs to his name, already got more runs than Shoaib Bashir in the series. But the day is all about Joe Root, who made 150, overtaking Kalish, Dravid and Ponting to go second in the all-time test run scorers list. Hitting in the process is 38th test match 100. India have picked up a couple of quick wickets, Jamie Smith going for 9 and also Wokes going for 4, bowled by Siraj. But England are well and truly in control of this test match and possibly the series. Stokes has 70, Dawson has 19, 10 minutes to go. England 535 for 7, leading by 177 runs.
Cheers, Sam, thank you very much. From 8 o'clock over on talkSPORT 2, you can hear live commentary of the second night of the quarterfinals at the World Match Play Darts. Let's look ahead to what we can expect as we're joined by talkSPORT commentator Mark Wilson. Mark, I always feel like James Wade's going to play it down, but the machine is back. He's through to the semi-finals. Him and Johnny Clayton both through. He's looking good.
He is looking good, guys. Yeah, 6-time finalist here, James Wade. He's made his career here, hasn't he? But he's been in imperious form, and he brushed aside Jan van Veen last night. He's through, taking on Johnny Clayton, who's also been in good form. That's going to be one heck of a semi-final. And tonight we're going to find out who's going to join him in the last 4.
And Mark, Luke Littler is in action tonight, as is Gerwyn Price, who has been causing a bit of a controversy this week.
A bit.
Yeah, it's great, wasn't it? Do you expect to see them both make it through to the semis?
Look, I think Luke Littler is a very warm favourite to beat Andrew Gilding, but Andrew Gilding's in, career best form at the minute. He's produced 2 fantastic performances. Littler, brilliant in his opening game, averaged over 108, but then struggled against Jermaine Wattimena, but dug deep, and I think a real big performance from him. So, yes, he's the favourite. You'd expect him to get through. The other one, Josh Rock against Gerwyn Price, I think it's a toss of a coin job. Josh Rock has played brilliantly, got 104 average in round 1, and then really dug deep to see off Michael van Gerwen last time. Gerwyn Price outstanding, 108 average in beating Chris Dobey, and he had that fire encounter that you mentioned with Daryl Gurney. Price is in great form. He's won a couple of tournaments over the last few weeks. He would be the slight favourite, but that one I think is a toss of a coin. It's going to be an absolutely epic night of darts, that is for sure.
Final one, Mark, on Luke Littler. I always think of him as a front runner, that once he gets going he's almost impossible to stop. Obviously 7-2 down in his last game, so he can come from behind as well and cause you problems, can't he?
Yeah, look, I think you give him a lead tonight against Andrew Gilding, Andrew will not reel him in. Andrew's going to have to start really well. But I thought that was a pivotal leg. He was 7-2 down. He won that 10th leg against Wattimena. He made the big, I'm still here, I'm not going anywhere statement on stage. And he came out and he reeled off, I think it was 5 or 6 legs on the spin. So he can do it both ways. Is he front right? Yeah, I don't think you're going to catch him. But I think he's shown he's got his mettle. And that might be the biggest leg of darts, that 10th leg against Jermaine Wattimena, where he showed he's got the backbone, he's got the courage. He's a big favourite tonight. You'd expect him to win, but not guaranteed he's going to win the tournament, that is for sure. We're all live on talkSPORT 2 tonight and on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel from 8.
I was going to say, look at him, he's doing my job. Fantastic stuff.
Mate, it's a gift that keeps giving, Mark.
Yeah, incredible. Mark, what's coming up after the break? It was incredible. Top man, Mark, appreciate it. Thanks a lot. I showed him there, talkSPORT 2 from 8 o'clock. Some interesting games. And look, it's always good when Luke Littler plays. Like, who doesn't want to see Luke? He's massive now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's huge.
He's a genuine superstar.
Yeah, I think he is. I mean, in terms of ranking sports stars in this country, I think he's top 5.
Ooh,
don't you think?
Top 5.
Top 5 currently. You know, if you were to do top 5 most interesting sports stars at the moment. Who are they?
You just changed it. There.
No, it's like all of a sudden, when they do the sports personality of the year. If you were to do top 5 sports personalities...
you just said top 5 most... You didn't say interesting. You've added interesting into it.
Forget interesting then.
Go on, say it again without interesting.
Why are you being so specific about my vocabulary?
Because you're kind of copping out there. Okay. Say it without interesting. Say what you're saying.
Top 5 sports personalities of this year so far. Luke Littler is definitely in it. Yeah,
I don't
we
think,
agree.
I don't think,
You're arguing for the sake
but
of
you've
arguing.
changed it again as well. You didn't say personalities last time. You said
What's
top
up with
5
you?
sports stars.
I didn't
You
christen
said
it
top 5
Sports
sports
Personality of the Year. I just go with the title that's been given to me.
Yeah. No, you know what? Yeah, could be top 5 sports stars.
You took the jam out of your donut.
Good movie, that, isn't it? Snatch. Great movie. All right, we're taking your calls. Have we got any calls? 25, 26 predictions. Oh, we haven't. No.
No one. Well, if anyone wants to, be on air, call now.
No one's called.
03717223344. If you call now, you will be on air now.
No, you ain't got a chance until we go on break. All right, still to come. We're going to be discussing Christian Eriksen's potential move to Wrexham. But first, it's time for No Googling. All right, after our trip into Drive's TARDIS, how many episodes of Doctor Who have there ever been? Ooh. That's
How many episodes in total?
Yeah, how many episodes in total of Doctor Who have there been? No one's getting this. Any guess?
I'll have a good stab at this.
Have a guess, go on.
What do you reckon? 10 seasons. I'm going, there's been 10 seasons and 10 episodes per season.
So you're saying 1,000?
No.
10, what? 100?
Yeah. Mate,
you're so far
You're not
off.
related to Carol Vorderman, you, are you?
No, sir.
Mate,
you're so far off. You know why?
I've got a bridge to sell you after this.
Because I've got the answer in front of me, I was like, he can't be saying 100.
Well, surely you know I can't be saying 1,000 either if I said 10 by 10.
No, it's a Friday, it's a long day, all right? Answer when we come back.
Shin pads are a footballer's best friend. Even if players like Jack Grealish do wear such small ones you can barely even see them. But what's the story with shin pads, and are there actually any rules on how big they should be? It all started with cricket, actually. Cricketers had been wearing shin pads since the 1700s. It was thanks to this guy that shin protection made its way over to football. Meet Samuel Widdowson. He was a cricketer and a footballer. He played for Nottingham Forest back in the late 1800s, and he wanted a way to protect his legs from nasty tackles. Naturally, his mind drifted to his other favourite sport, where players had been wearing these pads for a century. Story goes, Widdowson cut up his cricket pads and popped them on before taking to the footy pitch. His Nottingham Forest team then began wearing them from 1887, and the first known use of them in a match was in 1894, in a match between Newcastle and the then Woolwich Arsenal. Eventually, FIFA clocked on that this kind of protection was pretty important for footballers. And so, in 1990, basically 100 years after Widdowson first put them on, shin pads were made compulsory. It became part of Law 4 of IFAB. That's the body responsible for setting the laws of the game internationally. But the law doesn't actually specify anything about measurements of shin pads. It just says they must be made of a suitable material and be of an appropriate size to provide reasonable protection. It's really vague, even though there have been calls for it to be changed. But for now, that's why Grealish and co can still get away with these ones, which are no bigger than a credit card and which seem to offer little to no protection whatsoever.
Ade Oladipo Drive alongside Mr. Rory Jennings. The question before the break, no Googling. How many episodes of Doctor Who have there ever been? Clinky, your mic on? It is. How many? Go on, guess.
How many Doctor Who's there been?
How many episodes of Doctor Who?
Oh my word. Oh
Mate,
my
you're going right back.
word.
Pete Davison era. Like, I think it's been a lot.
See, why did you only say 100 then?
Well, 10 episodes. I've gone 10 seasons of 10 episodes each. It's a round number.
I'm going to go 112.
What about 892?
There hasn't been.
Yeah, I think he's got it wrong.
There's been 800
I think he meant like just
Has
one
he time travelled to 2062 and then written a number?
800
That's what it
episodes.
says here, 892.
Wow, I couldn't have been more wrong.
If
The
the
only
answer
thing as wrong as that was your maths.
Right. Can we never invite Rory back to drive through? This is it, one and done from Rory.
I'm happy with that.
And now it's all over on day 3 of the 4th test between India and England. Sam Allard has been watching for talkSPORT.
And a brilliant day of cricket for England, who close 544 for 7. That's the lead of 186 runs. The day, though, is all about Joe Root, who made his 38th Test match 100, getting to 150 runs, and in the process becoming the second highest run scorer in the history of Test match cricket. He was in the end out for 150, stumped off the bowling of Ravi Jadeja. Runs for Ollie Pope, he made 71. Ben Stokes goes to the close, not out on 77 despite some cramp in his left leg. Liam Dawson is also not out of the close on 21. A bad day, a tough day in the field for India, who was short of ideas, inconsistent with their bowling and just lacking energy in the field. England well on top in this Test match, and of course a victory in this Test match will secure the series. They'll resume tomorrow morning on 544 for 7 and with a commanding lead of 186 runs.
There is one thing that is unequivocally true, and that is that talkSPORT is a meritocracy.
Is that you?
No, it isn't me, and you know full well it isn't me. You do know
that's
it
kind of
isn't
how
me.
you talk.
No, you know it isn't
absolutely
me.
know that is Rory Jennings.
No, it's somebody doing a really bad impression of me.
Oh, wait, you think that's bad?
Yes.
No, it's not actually. It's
No,
pretty good.
you didn't even realise that it was supposed to be me.
I thought it was you.
It was Oliver.
We played it out a bit earlier, and I genuinely thought it was you. All right, following us from 7 o'clock, the wonderful impressionist Ollie Klink, host of Transfer Insiders, alongside Harry Simi, before being joined at 8 by Topsy Ojo for a preview of the second test between the British and Irish Lions and the Waller. Didn't know you knew your rugby as well.
Oh yeah, big time. Big time.
Man that knows a bit.
Of course he knows rugby.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Yeah.
What? Because he's big and strong looking.
Yeah, I
That's
played
it.
rugby, yeah.
Did
Played
you?
a bit of rugby, yeah. I was too bad at football, mate, to be honest with you.
Join the club, all of us are. To be honest, all of us are. All right, what you got coming up on the show? 7 o'clock, transfers.
Yeah, we're gonna obviously be chatting about Alexander Isak. I'm a big Newcastle fan. I've moved.
Are you being really moany in the way that I've seen a lot of Newcastle
No,
fans?
I think he's been very just understanding
Do
of the
you
situation.
understand why somebody would want to leave Newcastle to go to a big club?
I understand why in this situation Alexander Isak wants to leave, because we can't offer the money that I feel like he deserves, that he should be on. But I also feel that Newcastle have been, the PSR rules have severely hampered them. Oh, that's good. That's good. Do you know what actually wound me up more than that is when you guys did your friend lists earlier. Well, I was half listening to the show, as I have been throughout.
Yeah, of course.
And Ade decided to talk about his best friends from talkSPORT, and I heard my name mentioned. I was absolutely buzzing.
Yeah.
And then someone, you are number 6, mate.
No, you did make it.
That is a disgrace.
You did make it. The better one.
Oladipo, you're way higher on my list.
Clink.
Well, you're not anymore.
I think the best bit was Gavi Agbonlahor, who's been working with Addy all week, did his 6, and he didn't get mentioned.
No. It's not that I didn't get mentioned. It's that he flew through the 6. It wasn't like, and 5 could be like, I had a chance.
He knows who his top 6 are.
Go on, what's yours?
He's
top
in a
6?
WhatsApp
What's your
group
top
of
6?
his best friends.
What's your top 6?
Here,
Yeah,
I'd go Ade Oladipo, Ollie Clink.
Yeah.
That's a lie.
Shabana Hearn.
Yeah, 3.
Majestic.
4.
A lot of time for Darren Ambrose.
5.
King. Harry Symeou, good man.
Simon Jordan doesn't get in.
I wish Simon Jordan was my friend, but I couldn't do that.
Benny.
Love Darren Bent, but again, I don't think that I can make him in my. I would love to be in his, but I don't think we are.
Natalie Sawyer, working with her next week.
I'm very much looking forward to that, but I don't think she's a huge fan of mine. Which I share that approach to myself. I'm not a huge fan of mine either.
All right. Any other transfers apart from obviously Isak?
Yeah, we'll talk about Gyökeres with Harry, of course, big Arsenal fan. So him coming on, him taking the number 14 shirt. Which I always think that's quite interesting.
What
it's
is
obviously
that?
a big statement, isn't it, when you're taking the iconic number?
Theo Walcott.
Yeah, but Marcus Rashford did it at Barcelona. Who was it? 14
he took
at
Thierry
Barca?
Henry's.
Was that
Yeah.
Thierry Henry's at Barca?
Thierry
14?
Henry at Barca, yeah.
Okay, so you think that's going to land at Gyökeres?
I think there's more jeopardy in it than people are talking about. I think
pressure's on.
People keep
innit?
talking to me about Gyökeres' goal records. They keep going 98 goals in 102 games, and I feel like going, yes, in Portugal. It's very different.
His goal scorer is a goal scorer. And he scored a few in Europe. Didn't he score 8 in Europe? I think he scored like 8 in the Champions League.
hat-trick against Man City.
That's just not true, by the way.
That alone gets the deal.
Michael Mifsud scored a load of goals in the Maltese League. Like, Michael Mifsud, one of Malta's
Did he play for
prodigal sons.
Coventry, was it?
Yeah. The point is that people score in other leagues, and it doesn't necessarily translate to being able to do it in.
Yeah, but 98 and 107.
Sorry, that is not a fair comparison at all.
No, it's not.
What are you talking about? The Maltese League? What are you talking about?
The point is, he scored. It's actually a really good comparison.
Let's compare the Maltese League to the Portuguese League.
I'm saying that Gyökeres scoring goals in Portugal doesn't guarantee that he will score goals in the Premier League. I think he will land. I think he will play well. But I also think there's more jeopardy around the signing than people like to acknowledge.
This is why Rory struggled to finish his top 6 there in terms of mates at talkSPORT, I think. Some of the shouts like that.
If you carry on, you're going to be
I'm getting relegated.
You're out.
Okay,
Simon Jordan's in.
How many goals did he get for Arsenal? How many goals does he get?
He'll get approximately 15.
All comps.
15 Premier League goals, which I think would be a very solid return.
That's not a solid return. That's
I think he gets more than that.
Arsenal don't. 15.
Nicholas Anelka won the Golden Boot for Chelsea with 19.
Havertz got 13.
And they rate him, apparently.
Yeah. You think he'll get more?
He gets more than that.
Go on.
He gets more than that. Arsenal create
20?
too many chances.
20, yeah.
He gets
How much
20.
do you want to bet? Premier League goals?
Go on, friendly bet between you
Come
two.
on.
Go on, friendly bet.
I'll bet you.
No money, no money.
Oh, right.
Has to
We're
be
not allowed to
something
do
else.
that?
No, you can't. Something else. Actually, no, go on, charity bet money.
Okay,
Go on.
what are we donating?
Ooh.
Ade's hair transplant in Turkey.
Can I come?
I'll bet you £100 to a charity of your to a charity of your choosing that Gyökeres doesn't score
20
more than 20
No,
or
more
more
than
Premier
15.
League goals. 20's a lot.
No,
You're not
more
getting
than
20.
15. No,
we're talking
more than
Premier
15.
League only.
Yeah, £100
okay,
bet
17.
for charity.
17. Above
17.
and below 17.
17.
He doesn't
Fair.
get 17.
Fine.
Right.
There we go.
Okay, I want you to donate to an animal charity.
I'm not going to have to, mate. No, I would love
good
to.
answer.
I would
Good
love
response.
to, but I'm
Good
not going
response.
to have to.
Ollie, I love you coming in. Thank you
It's
very
been
much.
good fun, hasn't it? Yeah. You've gone up in my list.
Thank you. And he's gone down.
And you're relegated off my list.
Rory wasn't on it.
All right, let's talk about Wrexham. Wrexham because the newly promoted Championship side have made an approach to sign former Manchester United and Tottenham midfielder Christian Eriksen. Eriksen is available on a free transfer after his contract at Old Trafford expired this summer. The club have also been linked with moves for Jamie Vardy and for the midfielder Tom Cairney. They are, of course, on the back of 3 straight promotions and are keen to make an impression on the Championship next season. Yeah, shut the door. Eriksen just left United. Wrexham?
Yeah, I mean, realistically, I just don't think this deal can happen. Like, it doesn't really make sense, does it? I think it's a great headline. It's a great headline. It's a great story, and I understand that Wrexham are almost architects of the story. Yeah. What they build is a interesting football team, and the interest comes from building this story arc. But realistically, firstly, the question that we need to establish is: can Christian Eriksen play in a robust league like that one? I'm inclined to say perhaps not. I think he's a very good player still. Obviously, he can do it, but
technically he can do it. But I know what you mean. The Championship is you're going to get
fast-paced, heavy league, and I'm not sure that he and then the wages. Can they afford him? Can they literally afford him? I don't mean can they metaphorically afford him. I mean can they pay him that money
financially?
Justify paying somebody
him
£100 a week or whatever it would be. Like what would he have been on at Man United?
100 plus.
So say he's prepared to take a wage cut of even 50%. 50 grand a week to play in the Championship for Wrexham.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sure, and I feel like Wrexham have made some good signings already.
I'd love to know what their highest wage earner is.
Well, they got a good team. They just signed Josh Windass, didn't they?
Yeah, but he's not
Ollie Palmer.
Like that. See,
No. He won't be earning those wages. I'm just saying that they're building quite a good organic team. I don't think they need to go and make this kind of marquee signing.
Yeah, the thing about Wrexham, and this isn't a dig at anyone because there are people that have supported Wrexham all their lives, but obviously there are people that have jumped on the bandwagon in the last few years. This fairy tale story about Wrexham just needs to stop. Wrexham just have more money than anyone else, especially in the National League.
No, I have nothing but time and respect for Wrexham fans who are Wrexham fans.
100%.
I cannot bear Wrexham fans who are Ryan Reynolds fans. I cannot bear that. And you know, an American fan of Wrexham now. I just can't. I just refuse to talk football with them or even recognise the legitimacy of their football fandom.
1 second, they didn't support any football club. All of a sudden, they've decided, I want to support Wrexham. What's the problem with that?
I have a huge problem with that.
If they were supporters of another football club, I get it. But ultimately, they've been introduced to football because of the show.
If you stood at the race course, if you're a proper
here we go. We've got to go to the race course now. Yeah, if they're in America, they're supposed to get to the race course.
Did you see, or did someone in your family see Wrexham knock Arsenal out of the FA Cup? If the answer is yes, you're allowed in the stadium. If the answer is no, you're not. And if the answer is yes, I will recognise your legitimacy as a Wrexham fan.
Ryan Reynolds didn't.
If your answer...
Ryan Reynolds didn't.
I don't recognise Ryan Reynolds as a football fan. Of course I don't. Like, why would I? I think it's a business opportunity for him. It's clearly a business opportunity. He's seen a gap in the market. I think it's quite an interesting story for him to be part of.
Yeah.
But realistically, no. This entire thing with Wrexham, I like the team. I like what they're building. I like the history of Wrexham as well.
Which is massive.
Yeah. I like it. But no, this celebrity Wrexham, I'm not a fan of.
Okay. How do you think they do in the Champ? I mean, I think they'll do quite well. Is there a crazy world in which Wrexham get to the playoffs or something?
Sadly, I don't think it's a crazy world at all. I feel like that will almost definitely happen.
Well, if they get the signings they want to try and get...
It will almost definitely happen at some point.
That Wrexham... okay.
Like whether it's next season or not, we could discuss, and the answer's probably no.
Yeah.
But whether it happens in the next 5 years, I don't really think there's too much jeopardy around that. I think it will happen.
Yeah, the only thing that will stop them is their version of PSR in the Championship.
Yeah.
Like, can they spend the money that they've clearly got to attract players like Christian Eriksen to get them out of the league? And if they can't,
but you see,
again, we're discussing whether or not they can make... Yeah, they can, but they still play at the race course, so it's only 12,500 seater.
They do, but what they'll be able to do is sell packages that are worth a lot of money, and then the sponsorship deals. The sponsorship deals that they're already bringing in.
Yeah,
they've got to deal with Disney. So they will legitimately be able to outspend a lot of teams.
Yeah.
And Wrexham are a historic club. Like, when I talk about this story, I feel like it feels very sneery or I've adopted a snide attitude towards Wrexham. And that isn't true.
No, isn't that?
I like the club. I like the history. I love that footage of them beating Arsenal.
Okay, if you like the club and you like the history, what's wrong with someone coming, buying the club that you like, and saying, okay, we're gonna turn this around because Wrexham have been falling down the leagues. Again, look, they got them out of the National League. What's wrong with someone coming, chucking their money into the club, and again, building them back up? You've always spoken about big clubs should be in the higher leagues. They're a big club in a higher league.
No, it's more the story and it's more the approach. It's more this kind of Hollywood razzle-dazzle approach to Wrexham that I'm less of a fan of.
Yeah.
In terms of individual players, I like them and rate them. Like I rate Josh Windass. I think he's a very good player. I rate Ollie Palmer. I think he's a very good player. I think they're doing a lot of impressive things. I just feel like this Americanisation of Wrexham isn't something that chimes with the way I see football. But I'm probably in the minority. Well, I'm certainly in the minority because they have a continent that quite enjoy it.
Yeah, and I think there's going to be more of it. The amount of American owners now taking over, and before it was obviously the majority of the teams in the Premier League are owned by Americans. It's going to be the Championship, and I genuinely believe it's going to be League One, it's going to be League Two. I think there'll be a lot of American businessmen that look at what's going on at Wrexham and trying to find out the valuation of some of these clubs in the National League. Some of the big sleeping giants, by the way, and there are sleeping giants down there in the National League and League One, and thinking we could get them and turn them into Wrexham.
If you were an American billionaire and you're looking to maybe inject some money into sport in Europe, you look at certain clubs that aren't in the Premier League at the moment. I know Sheffield Wednesday. Like, you know, when you spoke about sleeping giant, Sheffield Wednesday would be a great club to inject some money into. But I think that you can do these things in a way that amplifies and respects the traditions of the club, that pays homage to the past, the Mickey Thomas goal at the racecourse to knock George Graham's Arsenal out. Like, you can either embrace the history of the club, or what you can do is almost ignore the history of the club and put your own polish on it.
Have they done anything like change the badge or anything yet?
I don't think so, but I mean, the entire documentary sponsored by Disney is part of that.
What's wrong with that?
I mean, it isn't necessarily in keeping with the traditions.
Look at the Premier League clubs that have been on Amazon.
Yeah. Look, we can talk about them in individuality as well. I don't necessarily like those either.
Okay,
I feel like the Arsenal one, for example, it felt like a PR. It felt like an advert.
It was.
I watched a little bit of it because they ridiculed me in there. They did. They did. It was narrated by Daniel Kaluuya. You should have known better.
And he said something about you.
Yeah, they used a clip of me saying that Arteta was going to fail, and played it into the documentary.
Did he fail?
Well, did he succeed?
Okay. All right. Look, when we come back, more of your opinions and confessions. Phone lines are open right now. You've got about 10 minutes to get your phone line in. 03717 22 3344.
It's a meritocracy.
Good evening, you're listening to Drive on talkSPORT. Ade Oladipo, Rory Jennings and Motorpoint. New car, same day drive away, available on all cars. Just book a test drive today. Following us from 7 o'clock, Ollie Klink hosts the Transfer Insiders alongside Harry Simu before being joined at 8 o'clock by Topsy Ojo for a preview of the second test between the British and Irish Lions and the Wallabies. Just been told that Lance Eladio is coming as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
He's on with Klink.
How did he forget to plug that?
I mean,
shocking.
He got carried away naming his friends in the building.
Yeah, and trying reaching out for handshakes. All right, now we're giving you the chance to win 6 tickets in a private box for you and your mates. August 22nd, full hospitality. Plus, we're chucking in 10 grand spending money, completely tax-free. Here's how to enter. Members 18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, just text the word WIN to 83338 by the 4th of August. That's WIN to 83338, 4th of August, 11 p.m. and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission, or just post your name and number to Coldplay Competition PO Box 3190 Colchester CO2 8GP to arrive by 5 p.m. on the 7th of August. This is the TalkSPORT Limited promotion run on TalkSPORT, Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com. Earlier in the show, turn it down. Me and Rory took your football opinions you were afraid to say out loud. It was a brilliant one, so we thought, we'll take a few more to finish the show. Let's go to Jason, Liverpool fan. Jason, go on. The opinion that you don't really want to say out loud, but you're about to do on national radio.
Well, actually, Addy, I rang when you were saying who the top four going to be, but I can add that to the opinion I didn't really want to say, which is that I can't believe I've actually agreed with Rory on something.
Oh. It's got to be that rare, can it?
Yeah, it can.
Go on, where do we agree with one another?
Right, when we're talking about the top four, I do think Liverpool are in pole position for it, providing one thing, and it's not Isak. We actually need another centre defender.
Yeah.
Because we've only got Van Dijk, Canate and Gomez covers all across the back line. So if we get Gay, that would be a wise signing, and then if there is still the capital with other people going out, we then try and get Isak.
All right, what's your confession?
Second is, I do think, this is the confession, Chelsea could finish second.
There we go.
I agree with Rory.
Hey, you're wrong.
I actually do think they could, but they've spent enough billions that they should be able to by now. I think Man City, for me, would be third. I also, in between my original call and now, when you rang me back, I'm with Rory on two things now.
Have you had a drink this evening?
No, I don't think Gyökeres will get 17 goals or more.
So Ollie Klink is going to owe me a charity of my choosing some money?
Correct.
Agreed.
You're wrong, Jace. Jace, I love you as a Liverpool
Jason,
fan, but you're wrong. All right, let's quickly squeeze in one more. Callum, Manchester United fan. Go on, Callum, your confession.
Yeah, hello, mate. You're right. Good show as always. Just a very quick one, really. I've been thinking about it recently, and I don't sound like a delusional United fan, like we all are at the moment. But I think that potentially I couldn't rule out Isak going to United.
Who?
And the reason,
Isak going to United?
Yeah, and the reason here's my reasons behind it. The reason I don't think he will is because we can't offer him Champions League football. And I don't trust the Glazers or Ratcliffe to be able to pull this one off. But the reason being I think I could is that in a year's time we could be competing in the top six again. We have a wage structure that can support it.
Callum, he's the best striker in the country. What's in it for him?
I think what's in it for him is the fact of potentially playing for United.
Stop it, Callum. Those days are over. Those days are long gone, Callum.
He's been dreaming of lining up with Luke Shaw and Agate all his life.
Well, he could play in front of Mbama, Umo and Kuna.
Listen, do you know, Callum, you've made a valiant point here. You've tried hard. You've tried hard and 10 out of 10 for effort.
Yeah.
But do you want to know one thing that will definitely not happen this window? The only thing that I can in fact guarantee: Alexander Isak doesn't sign for Man United.
Alexander Isak doesn't. His agent doesn't even respond to the email.
No,
it's a bounce back. Callum, great call though, Callum. Let's see if we can get one more in very quickly. Omar, Man United fan, go on, Omar, quickly.
Yeah, my one was that I'm actually still confident that in Onana, and I'm happy with him to start as our keeper next year.
That is wild.
Are you his agent? Is this his agent?
Why? Talk to me. Rationalise it.
Onana it's a confident issue here. It's not a skill issue. We've seen the skills he's got in it. And you lot were saying before about how it's not United players' fault if Cunha doesn't perform.
Yeah.
Why is it Onana's fault when a defender does something in the box and we have...
But a lot of it is just his fault.
You know what it is? You know the problem is, Omar? The defenders are still there, mate.
But also, Omar, think about the champion.
I think if we get better, Onana will have a crazy comeback.
Omar, you remember that Champions League campaign? Omar, remember that Champions League campaign? When Rasmus Højlund's actually ironically scored quite a lot of goals in the group stages. Onana, nothing to do with the defence, just him himself. Cost you Champions League progress.
We all want things. Omar. Omar, we all want things. Omar, I want hair. I want dreadlocks. We're not getting them. Do you know what I mean? Rory wants to be 5'11". He's not.
Mate, I want to be 5'8".
Nah, honestly, he's the best on the ball in the country. Honestly,
you lost me there. Omar, have a good night, my man. Appreciate the call.
Omar.
Thank you so much to everyone that called in today. It's been good, isn't it? How did you find your debut and drive?
It was an honour. Thank you so much for having me.
See what we can do next week for you. See if we can squeeze you in. I think Goldstein's back though, to be fair. All right, up next to this Transfer Insider, I can see them out the window. Harry Simeo, Ollie Klink.
There is one thing that is unequivocally true, and that is that talkSPORT is a meritocracy.